so cold. My own greetings to Iconics, Kusipajine, Jira Mosquito, more grace to the elbow. Suleana saying a good morning to us. God in Fiado is also saying a good morning. We go for another blessed day. Citizen Dumo is saying a good morning to me. Peter Dawson says a good morning, family. You guys are doing a great job. God bless you. Nick Watavanda boy says, I hear you. So the glasses said to describe the Ando and the administration saying incompetent is a lack of words. They are Emmanuel Kadogbe. Says, thank you for remembering us this morning. Those nice tracks. Was Nyami Chesena. Fuko Plakpo says, good morning to us. Greetings from Tanyigba. Good morning to Sel Del Glad. I hear you, Sel Del Glad. And also with the video, just due my attention to it. We'll work on the sound pretty shortly. Kingdom Kalechi Kwesi Dachomo says copy it. Nkrumah built UCC and Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology and Free Education. Rawlings built UDS, Tamils built UHAS, Mama built UESD. Akufo-Addo did not build any university in Ghana. Interestingly, Nkrumah, who built 2 universities, was not honored by any university in Ghana. Rawlings, Mills, and Mahama, who established 1 university each, were not honored by any university in Ghana. But Akufo-Addo, who has not contributed anything to higher education in Ghana, is the one honored by a Ghanaian university. Me? The gods must be crazy. Bonnie Friday says good morning to us. All hands should be on deck, please. Chelsea. All hands on deck for the game is over. Sell the glasses. Okay, that's wonderful. Wonderful to hear that. Eriga Kuna Patata says, without global pandemic, Mr. Mahama sent us in darkness for 4 years. And not talk of its attendance economic hardship. He cancelled teacher and nurses training allowance till the economy was in tatters. JDM went to IMF, which placed embargo on all recruitments. As if that is not enough, newly recruited teachers received 3 months' salary after working for 3 years. Ghanaians are we experiencing similar hardships under Nanado's regime, just by the effect of the global pandemic? Let's answer for ourselves. Thank you. Kekeli Kankrena says, okay, thank you. I hope it's better now. Alasan Sule, I see Joachim Hosset Dogbe, Peggy Abnadodo, good morning. Good morning. I'll let her know. Nancy, I'll let her know. Rose Bonnie is also saying a good morning to us. Wonderful to see you, my brother. I hope you're well. Good morning to you. Thank you. Kekeli Kankrena says, okay, Kekeli, thank you. Seldel Glad. Oh, thank you too. Abdurrahman, I never heard of Togbe Alakpafia in regards to the heaven on earth flight hired by the is the reason why the excavators metamorphosed in the interesting. there's obviously a lot to talk about. I don't know, but I don't feel like I should be talking about what the president said. I think because the press response is adequate enough. Now, a couple of things. The issue with anyway, it's always difficult to talk to our president. It's so difficult. You know, I am deficient when it comes to a lot of things because of where I went to school. So but one of the words I've learned recently, and most recently, is tone deafness. Tone deafness, and sometimes they will say that you are tone deaf. President, I don't know. I don't know what will go wrong if our president ever walked up and said that, okay, I've heard everything you're saying. We'll see what we can do about it. It'll be fantastic. For the first time, why not? You are all wrong. You see, it just comes to look into everybody's face and tell all of us, you are all wrong. What you're saying is not right. This is what is right. Listen to me. Let me tell you what is right. And then he'll go ahead and give all this long lecture for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, telling us about how fantastically he fought one thing or the other, how he was the one who did this and did that. And sometimes it's so boring. One, the free SHS issue. There's no campaign being waged against you. When you wake up in the morning, like Ransford did, and Ransford's sister, I haven't heard from my niece yet. She hasn't called me yet. Doesn't mean I hasn't gotten to her yet. Ransford's sister called him one morning and told him that there was supposed to be a PTA meeting where they were supposed to discuss payments to free SHS. Payments to free SHS by parents. And the sister even gave him a name. The name of those payments. It's called intervention. If Ransford comes here and comes talking, you say that he has a campaign against. So people are supposed to keep quiet. When you promise one thing, you are supposedly giving with one hand and taking with another hand. They're supposed to just keep quiet. They're supposed to not ask you, why is this thing going this way? They're not supposed to talk. And when they talk, you're talking about them. You call them all sort of names, naysayers and everything. They are on a campaign against you. Everybody's on a campaign against you. When you woke up daily and organize a series of demonstrations against former President Ronix, you were not on a campaign against him. You were right. That one there, you were doing the right thing. But when people talk about yours, that one, we are all wrong. You are doing fantastically well. Don't worry. Like I've said, I've started. Nana is the best president ever. There's no president like Nana. Nana, he brought cocoa to Ghana. He built Akosombo Dam. He built the Temamoto Way. He is the reason Ghana looks like this. That's what you want. So we should say it to you. When people are talking about, what do you call it, a culture of silence, did you hear what happened to the guy at National Security? Why didn't you talk about that? And when we're talking about the guy who was shot, Anas's guy,
Ahmed.
When you're talking about him, and you say that they will be arrested, how long does it take to arrest somebody? How many years since he was killed? How long since he was killed? And you are talking about, you say, no. And as we speak, there's whose fingers have been pointed at, who even claims to know who killed the young man. And all that, what has happened to it? The guys who attacked the modern Ghana journalist, the pastor who spoke up against you, all of a sudden, they found weed on him and arrested him. Inouye Afuseni sat on TV with me. The next thing you know, Inouye Afuseni was arrested and I became a witness. Why? Everything you say here, when people speak up, what happened to them? After what happened, people were fired into. When you form a commission, when the commission recommended that a man who led them should be taken out, is he not sitting there? And then you went this election, people went out to vote. Fire, people, they were shot into. People were killed. Who has been held responsible for that? Are you not the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces? Is your vice president not the chairman of the police council? We want people to feel safe after what happens to Caleb Kuda. Why didn't you even talk about the jet? Your £150,000 jet. You didn't even open your mouth about it. You had the opportunity. Why didn't you respond to that? That you are using £150,000 to board a jet that looks like a jet that King Solomon himself will board. The Arabian kings themselves. I'm not sure even the king of Saudi Arabia even boards that jet. Why didn't you respond to that? You are not here to give us explanation. When it is good, we will know. When it is good and I say it is not good, people will point out to me that it is good. Don't say it is not good. Do you see the number of people who are increasingly talking? I'm guessing you're responding directly to Sir Sam Jonah because you're sitting right beside you. He's the chancellor of the university that awarded you the doctorate degree. So you have to say something to him and respond to him. I hope he got his response. After all, that's your modus operandi. Mr. RKB. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning to you too.
And it ends there.
No, it can.
No, it ends there.
It ends there. It can never.
It ends there. No. First of all, your friend said is okay. By the way, how is the family and everybody?
Oh, Nyamiadum. It's a weekend. You go Krum.
Yes.
So this weekend
you were away from the family.
Yeah. So do me could do on me na ye bon komode. But me betu omenra say obia ho ye. Just that ketwa na na afi ne papa.
Oh, okay.
And I'm buying no titare me sana or dame so an or die. That just we didn't trim de kakra. Un say e enkora no papa tu kwan ya. I just say enkora bonefo no. And ya no mo person papa tu kwan be back. Temana ye enkora no. Un say o papa tu kwan ya say onye freedom bi ofie.
Yeah.
Because mama for ne to de bi e no mo de face so. Ti say o papa tu kwan no oba e die ba. So what the boy we akora born in the young person papa we fie.
Yeah,
but mostly no. Omo young, till I feel no more there. I don't know.
Oh no, as you grow, you realize
that akora more masses here.
As you grow. More masses here. At this stage, what are they doing?
Mom and dad.
They're young.
But me chat you for no penjo bibia. And I mean chia so ga copy for no pay. So Gagope is a very nice place. Obi Nyanka Uncle visit you. A very nice place. You to Galamsey or and it's a Onam River Water and it's what Okon Do say Ufida area honum. Because me share River Water na maybe central region or central western region. Na me do a year River and Cobra, River Praho. Na any large any size no the same. Now we are 80. Now we are near Tia. Now we are Hoa Magana. Now me far eastern region. Now me do a year. Your friend say Chibinsu ya Brim. Now me do Brim na Tia. Now me raho. Inti ye didn't come on no because we okofa Chibi for ya bay. Odom begu soga kope. Now the soga kope for no kwa less than 1 month. Oba no ma over water no ma hono no. Ombe two galamsey oguma mo na hono no enti nyankopon hira the good people of Volta region, especially those in Tefle Sopi ena very nice environment. That should be no kakraba me semo me pese me na wife beko nanka at least baby akoda ya na asa akoda obi na yetimi adwedwe ya ho afadwen unya 2 or 3 days ayi anamoma mbe 1 week bia nanka akotwa 1 week
right now even if you give it 3 months even with the bet that you have won you can still not sleep there for 3 days.
The guy has sent the money. He has sent the money.
It's been successfully paid.
Let me greet him this morning. Nee Brown. Actually, Ni Brown, enemy say Yentunchia.
Okay.
Then Jerry now was say, the catcher say Chelsea be winning, and also Man City. So Nancy and a dancing, say 500 cedis each.
Okay.
And I'm saying, okay, no problem. Because now I know my team very well. And Tina say, me winning. So on Saturday, a free a year say buy, and I'm a friend say, oh, Charlie, I didn't get 1,000 and also no, young 500 now. Because now I was so confident, say, I'll win the game. To me, the proposal, I could say 1,000. And I was saying that we would have 500 now. But later, and me sign a second thought say no. Nipa na also onyi sika no me ho no. Nipa no minimum no. E dinga be an consistent nipa no mame. In case of kubuka mu a nipa no will find a way. She will make sure say obedis can free me ho.
Yeah.
But that call no anko but oversight.
That was why you called me Saturday morning when I was in the studio. Well, you called me there for
it didn't say o changing the panel also be na mame. And after first half, then he called back. And also I feel na fireworks, you know. So I should expect an equalizer and a second goal from Man City. I'm so well. Maybe the minimum say me 500 in the at the end of the 90 minutes. And Ni Brown on a metonchia on this particular game, 500 cedis each. And God been so good. Marini no.
Yeah.
Timirina and Sikane Bar.
You are not afraid of the winning, you're not afraid of Ni Brown. You are afraid of the custodian.
Oh, yeah. On not see why I'm a nightmare kakra in terms of Sikane.
I'm sure you were wild.
In terms of Sikane because I know her. Minimum obey me. Minimum obey me. So won him obey me.
She was watching the match
exactly. It was a check. Now only baby I'm a coffee fast. He can make Giazani if he's over go. Oh, Jisicano, Azani if he's over. So wada. I think the money came before 10 o'clock.
Oh, then that's fantastic.
That same day. And the money came before 10 o'clock.
Oh, that's good.
And
I say fufu.
And you know, and no. Boga, and there was some money. But today's show, I am a co-host of the show, isn't it?
When it suits you.
No, man, fast
When it suits you. When it doesn't suit you, you can't do this super headline. Say a few words and then you go.
As today,
so today has suited you.
No, and they say in the main shadow chair. But 9:30 I'll leave. Me person me call. Me call ya DB or. Then they say main shadow chair. But nene me yesi kama share white.
Okay.
Nanka ma share we go so. But if you na kwa improper dressing. So I decided to wear the blue. Because Mondays me tanche JC. Because very but per the mood na woman no. As I say it me a share blue no. Na I did Yankopon say na I was listening to a sports morning show this morning. Wouldn't say obi kwa sorry them. I think it's a press before Methodist. Any other way say no. In terms of so obi kwa koda here, you go and you betro. Now the church secretary na kwa now say. And they played a video. I'm sharing and I was very shocked. Say Chelsea supporter Aqua sorry. And wako tiezika say and that Yankopon say for 9 years in the Champions League. Yenyi bidanti na fini for 9 years. Ya train Emma Wapana now say.
I've forgotten the name they give it to. They give to that.
Okay.
I think I recall when I was in Seoul, it was called Miss Adabia. But I don't know the English one. I'm not particularly familiar with the English one.
And this particular show, it dedicated the amount all Chelsea supporters.
Who is dedicating it?
All Chelsea supporters. I am as a co-host. As a co-host of the show, in my capacity as a co-host,
determine that not you.
In my capacity, as the co-host of this show, today's Efiti and Ekopim Friday. Efiti and Ekopim Friday.
To determine that
Efiti and Ekopim Friday.
You cannot.
Senna, this week we don't have producers.
Then you will not. Then there will not be any producer for you this week. There will not be any producer for.
I think was about you. Obama is also coin.
How do you
She
say
has
that
some questions to answer.
You are what?
Or more serious questions to answer.
Dedicating the show
Do with your issue.
which classify-
You are dedicating the show.
What's it?
They are asking you which capacity.
In what capacity?
They show your bona fide
In my
competence.
capacity as a co-host of
Once
the
you
Gold Band
don't
Live.
have control
You don't
of
have-
the
Jana,
show, Mr.
You
Man.
don't have that power.
You don't
I don't have that power
you don't.
as a
That is
co-host
what
of this
you
show.
don't.
You don't have that power.
I don't have that power. Sana,
don't.
you have to
Go
pay
back
Eric.
and
I should
do
pay Eric.
what you are as a host.
Eric Boateng any difficult.
Oh, so give Eric part of your
Eric.
win.
You
What
see,
is not being
and
difficult?
Eric is not so jealous about what she's doing now.
I am not being
What you say?
jealous. I am
Because
just
Eric
putting
Boateng
things right.
understands.
She's making a
And
point.
Yama, no, she, oh, no. Or making a point. Yeah.
First of all, I don't even back your
It is
decision.
not done like that.
You say you are a
cannot
co-host.
decide
I'm a
to-
co-host.
Not the only one.
Even the
Yeah, we are
host,
two.
Even the host.
Even if you vote, it 1-1 apply.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2. 1-1 apply.
Then I
So I say on back decision, you know.
Uh-huh.
Okay, 137,
I haven't said I don't back it.
this one.
Sir,
this
I
is
haven't
not about
indicated
you,
that I back-
Senna.
But I know.
It's the decision
I know,
of
sir.
of the producer
Senna.
to say that okay, you can go ahead
Senna.
and dedicate the show.
Senna,
You can
all
come
Kasai.
and- you can come
But
and
I
say,
know
master,
before
you
the
can
match,
come
but
and
we are
say
now
that-
minimum the fair analysis how they this game.
This one.
And even before the semi-finals, now see who pursue who a game Guardiola and Thomas Tuchel. Yes, I know.
It doesn't matter.
You said you want to watch finals
The
between
game-
Chelsea
the
and
game
Man City,
here,
isn't
we have played
it? So
already.
I know,
Try to
Maria,
avoid the
who
traffic.
I just we claim, no, we claim. Look at I hear.
So we close to our word.
We have won it as you
When you
claim.
have won, you are the champions. You claim it is done. No Chelsea what dedication here today. Say what you want to say and get up and go. You will not play any Chelsea anthem here today.
You play the UEFA Champions League
Play what?
anthem and the chess. Sana, this week, and the Friday the end of because
Friday we can leave it to you. Say what? You will sit here.
And on Friday the moment. You
You have forgotten that when you get tired.
to all my Chelsea fans, Francis Agra, Francis Chumasi Odum, Nana Dia, Emmanuel Dosu, a part of the family, and Ada Munina. Oh, against Anopai. My bro, Fianum about Chelsea. Cause I'm going for 2 na bakwada bakuna, you know. So ni mo. Go for 2 na bakwada bakuna, you know. Sena the way masofa. I was am go for ya no. Na omaba, sena cut him. Sena then no find me. Sena you who dey come story mommy. Then no find me cut him. Just for talkative they cannot do anything.
This one
Kabila will beat
I've heard
them.
from them.
Almost someone teach you down the pay. They have decided to do no. Because they know they want to come on the show. But I never may have no. A job so much. You got also not blocking the number no pay. It has got to do that.
See?
So,
People for once in your life. Shock people. Shock people. You have shocked everybody. If you just walked in, I said congratulations, said nice, and then talk about something else and move on. Nobody, you have shocked everybody. And just like
I decided, sir, and Kameba, I will not talk about the game. That is what I didn't know. Maybe a Kodain, Cisneros or whatever Neros one. I watched the game with a doctor and 2 receptionists. After when I went on Facebook, and I'm sure to God be the glory with our flag. And that is what exactly Namesemeba.
You come and say,
not my way. But upon request Abuba from mine, Chelsea, Francis Agra, and Sama, you know. I can't go silence. I've suffered though.
Please, nobody see Kwesi Wachi. Nobody.
I've
saying
suffered
that.
on this one. You know.
Nobody
The
is saying
kind of
that.
attacks.
Don't jubilate.
With the DJ,
nobody is saying that. Don't say what's
Rahman,
right or not.
And
Nobody is saying. Nobody is saying that. Don't praise your coach and your team and whatever.
So what do you want me to do?
My only objection to you this morning is that you cannot come and sit here and say that you are dedicating our show to Chelsea fan. Am I a Chelsea fan?
No, that one.
Do I support Chelsea?
Okay,
that one
now,
is impossible.
Now I am dedicating my segment on the show.
You don't have a show.
I have a segment on the show.
You don't have a show.
I am
Mr. Man. You don't have a show.
Even
The show,
segment.
it is not
Which
yours.
segment?
That segment, it is not yours. So you can't say that
What is the name of the segment?
What are you saying? You are dedicating what?
the co-host segment.
It is not possible. It is not happening here today. Chelsea dedication. And the rest.
The only name segment you have on this show is the newspaper headline. And you share it.
Today, forget it. It is not happening. When I am not here, it can happen. If I'm here, it will not happen. Chelsea dedication.
Cap, first team echo troughless. Likewise, Senna. But Senna, mommy influence you. She has a lot of questions to answer. You know, for the past 2 weeks, she has a lot of questions. Answer no ome answer. Yes, I know you should know. Yeah, to us. You better try is yana 11 abone asoroko.
No, this thing.
So catch it say, ni oye no nyai. Nanka obai, oh, watch it and cast Ukrananka anthem and kwashi shebi bia ma na efe.
It is 8:30.
I just say, and come on na efe. Sema, obama de na efe and come by Chelsea cake wo ha. We will celebrate this at you. About your Chelsea supporters are more platform so.
And that's the biggest disappointment.
Yeah, no.
Train.
They haven't done anything.
I'm coming.
They haven't done anything.
My friend Yaba.
Wait.
Match there on Saturday.
Wait.
If people you just shout. Every
Senna,
time you
let me respond.
No.
Who is asking? What I responded to? What you have been shouting all along? What is it?
They are all my phone greetings.
This is the first time somebody has demanded greetings so that they can respond.
Mr. Samuel Tete or Kata. So or a Chelsea fan.
It will not happen. No.
But fufu no.
It won't happen.
And maybe the fufu.
Me say it will not happen.
What is the kind of commandance here? What the Chelsea fufu? Sika no commandance no.
Nancy Rashford will not eat the fufu. That one there is true. So you must advise yourself.
Who are the Chelsea? Sika no commandance no. Yehu.
Rashford will not eat the fufu.
Yehu. Etimi Samoa. Something must happen today. Chelsea supporters, Mamungu Manimuasi. We have to eat. Now, at the end of the so be there. Abrabedi. Say Chelsea for no organization for my.
Na me mapu eduani.
That's a good morning.
Good morning, Senna.
Wonderful to see you this morning.
Yeah, good to be back.
This morning, I've avoided everyone who said, "Where is Nancy?" I'll read their message, get to that point, and jump to another message. I've avoided all that. So this is Nancy. Nancy is here.
Yes.
So please.
I am here.
I couldn't produce you. They said I should produce you. I said no, I can't produce you. Hey, you have attracted a lot of. You have pushed up all my messages. Confusion I ever saw. Rashford. Hey, why you to your position to this Rashford thing serious?
Just win about
see, those of you sending me voice notes and messages, I've seen but I will not read. I will not read.
Attack! Just win.
I will not read.
Because of Chelsea winning team. About you might be disrupted.
See, it is good I am back.
Greet me and let me respond.
It is good I am back, and in fact I am back today. By now, I'm dedicating the show to Chelsea.
I've already dedicated.
So what
no, you cannot.
Sure.
You cannot.
That's the one. You are assuming power that you do not have.
Massa.
You are being biased.
No.
Hey,
Don't be biased. You know I support. I have always said that people were going to come out on top. Did I not say that?
So
you have won. That's why I congratulated you.
Massa.
But that doesn't mean that I will agree to you saying that you are
if you want congratulations. And the idea,
the show is for Chelsea supporters.
It is not for Chelsea supporters. This show can never be for Chelsea supporters.
No, it is
not for any Chelsea supporter. In fact, Chelsea supporter is only you.
Yeah.
You are the only one supporting Chelsea. In fact, on this show, we are just like individuals. Liverpool, Manchester, Chelsea, Arsenal,
Real Madrid.
You see,
Manchester United, even Manchester United.
You are too.
Manchester United.
Henry is Manchester. And so please, if you were too, you can say that you want. Even that one, like
blue is the color. Football is the game. We are together. Winning is our aim. So cheer us on through the sun and rain. Chelsea is the name. Thank you for the words.
Are you okay? These ones I can allow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't hold your mouth.
That
I can't close your mouth.
But the show
so you can say, in fact,
today's show
give us history of
today's show is probably under Chelsea support.
Oh, it cannot happen.
You dedicated
it's today that.
Nancy, this thing is becoming too personal.
I think that is too personal. You know what he did to me on Saturday? Do you know what he did to me? See, this show cannot be dedicated to any Chelsea supporter. It cannot be dedicated. You cannot dedicate this show.
I want to
any Chelsea supporter. Hey, the number of times we ate fufu on this platform. Did you dedicate the show? No. So today, who eats the fufu, but this show will not be dedicated to any Chelsea supporter. No, it won't happen.
Hey, somebody says, Paloya says, what an angelic voice. Anyone says, but the same people want.
Senna, the Deacon has gone to bet. This is the Deacon. He has gone to bet.
It is because
where is our share of the money? Give us. What if 500 Ghana you go take? Give us our share. Deacon now to Chacha. Where I said. This is not a matter of winning Ibra. Bet is bet.
Okay.
Bet is bet. Yeah, Nana. Yeah, fire phone. Now call one is bet. Now di Ghana. Oba no see they have ordained me deacon in my church. From today to my life, the whole of my life, I'm not going to bet again. What happened? What can bet 500 Ghana show? I say I'm dedicating the show to Chelsea. So this can also go up.
A long time.
Okay. No problem. You are here.
Me catch us is Ghana boss.
We'll finish the Hey, that's it. They will pack you down. You will pay for transportation before they move. Hey,
always see your down. I say, hey, first Ghana Maria enjoy your Papa.
Mr. Eric, good morning.
Good morning.
And the Chelsea supporters, don't go silent. So don't, mama,
Massa.
And then something big must happen.
Forget yourself.
Something, bro, Fufu must happen today. Is this number your momo? Yes, this is the momo line. This is the Momo line. This is the Momo line.
See,
my number is registered. My number is registered. Say Chelsea.
See,
Delali Nani Watoso is a Chelsea supporter. He's a Chelsea supporter.
Wait.
So Delali, this is the Momo line. Drop the money.
It is the Momo line.
Yeah.
Send the money to him. The money will take the fufu to. I will lead them to the fufu base. If the fufu, but the dedication, it will not happen.
Yeah.
Delali Nani Watoso. Good morning, champion Delali Nani Watoso.
What's the name? City 2. What was that? What was that? These people beat you home, away. You are going to neutral ground to you. Still, what is that?
3 different competitions.
What was that?
FA Cup, League, and Champions League.
It will take a miracle for Guardiola to be able to beat Tuchel. He has an advantage over it.
The guy was just lost on Saturday.
No, he lost the game technically.
Discipline is back. Nancy the Great. Because Nancy had damage control among you know. Sakwa could also better. It was not online. So Nancy about they were tuning in. Also, said discipline is back because Nancy Baba bomb counter. Me a sure pass me no Musman so Russia so. Nancy Baba Muni Mubi.
Well, people are asking for Momo line to be confirmed.
My Momo line.
Now you're coming to mention your number.
Please, you do not send any money to any other Momo line aside Samson.
No.
That is the official Momo line.
Chelsea official Momo line.
Please don't send it. We will not eat the fufu.
You will not eat the fufu.
We will not eat the fufu again.
Where's your cap?
Please. Okay, I think.
Where's your cap?
Okay.
Do you have a cap to drink from after eating? Where's your cap? Hey, Charlie, I have suffered. Where's your cap? Tell me, Baza Foko is a reservoir. No?
Yeah.
Oh, just vote. Shut up. Where's your cap? Have you? Hey, Brahma Bre.
But you were the one who went to call it reservoir.
Brahma Bre.
You start everything.
It looks like a reservoir.
Yeah. So
what is aluminium?
Oh,
Dabi Bay.
Oh, Manchester United is a port Nascar. Where's your cap? Where's your cap?
But we have not won any cap.
Shut up. Where's your cap? Where's your cap? I feel no, I'm saying, me never cap on the 2 pages. And say, hey, I'm not for Mr. Chelsea. Where's your cap? The most prestigious cap in Europe. It has been won by my team.
People have had a quite.
See, the Chelsea guys are attacking me.
Yeah,
look at Nanedia.
Why
won't you allow? Why they not?
Yes.
Why won't you allow the guy who won the Champions League?
Attack them all. Come on, attack them all.
Not happen here.
Attack them all.
To not happen.
Attack them all.
Well, the DJ says, Sen, I've been against what RKB is doing, but if that can bring Nancy out, then let him go on. Hey,
Fufu will happen today. You be fufu. You be the whole week. Fufu and Tuesday.
Dick na kotu chacha.
Madam Timba you. Timba. And a new brand by.
You could have rejected it.
Please. The little integrity you have left. Because we integrity na attentive because Dick na kotu chacha there. You won't do that.
Don't say that.
In fact, you yourself came said because of your dickinship. It's who near bent to be. So what Becky?
Where them one baby on a new brand by.
What Becky wow records no.
Gamizo can
the little integrity you have left
is gone.
Make kasa enyata ni nya into the
next season Libra your match be abra 500 Ghana.
A lot of things influence people.
Yeah.
I ain't saving no. Jet in saving or starting a day away from Atletico Madrid. I'm not Jet catchers or Democratic country. I do Atletico Madrid home away 1,000.
Hey, the way I mean this thing, if they are one them,
sure.
This boy.
So, Yami, that's how we great too. What's the share?
Like that 500, you cough it.
Yeah. I know.
You cough it.
I was actually praying for you.
Hey.
What's that?
When they started
before
the games, I actually put down Kwesi. Men who say
when Eric called me in the morning and then you were speaking, then I realized, what was that? It's advantage. There's the same person now drive you here. Like you would die there.
Can I see what? So I'm not going so. I just miss it. We are near to us.
It came on Saturday night. Saturday night I didn't buy them. No, me more so today. You could do a cry.
This one there's no far.
And you will do a cry. And you will see me. I drink no grab.
You walk. You manage. How much is not your car? Nancy and Boache, please go ahead with the newspaper.
Okay. But Mama Chia Dr. Pounds.
Which doctor?
I know pay Mama Chia. But of Dr. Pounds picture and to my boy. Mama Chia Dr. Pounds.
Who is Dr. Pounds?
Oh, then the picture to so be on Dr. Pounds. And me Chia Dr. Pounds on
because I know there's a Dr. Pounds who is a DJ or something.
Yeah, I know.
Multimedia Dr.
Yeah, we're Dr. Pounds Senior.
Dr. Pounds.
Dr. Pounds Senior. I'm say over the weekend no. UCC 4 year.
Yeah. Oh yes. They gave the president an honorary degree.
Yeah, that's a doctorate degree.
Doctorate, yeah.
Doctorate degree, okay. So, big channel, and my Ghana phone share Dr. Pounds on a penny channel. Say, yeah, which him didn't, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, to Dr. Pounds.
He got his doctorate the same day Chelsea was winning the Champions League.
That same Saturday.
Yeah.
Honestly, at Tottenham or against who? Is a Tottenham supporter?
London clubs.
So but no, they got the pride of London. Yes, oh, we say. But Sana, or the Dr. Pounds Obano. For your information, Gold Track. Yeah, I was for Dr. Pounds now. Etina Kunyum no. Dr. Pounds. What is it?
So our president's name is not Dr. Pounds.
No, the pounds go on flight.
Okay, £15,000.
15,000 pounds.
Dr. Pounds.
Yeah, and he has a man a doctorate.
Oh, okay.
So have you seen the connection?
Yes. Dr. Pounds.
Dr. Pounds. Or no fine sika cities now. Now we're running into pounds. No, they are called plane 1 hour 15k. Eti Dr. Pounds and all no. But near Omukobo and Huabason send no more. Gold Track Form 2 for Aba. Wamoko school for 39 working days. So let's say from Monday to Friday, 39. They are back in the house.
That's less than 2 months.
Yeah. They will return 30th August. So do your calculation.
So there's clearly June, July in between.
August. The full of
30th.
August.
The whole of August.
The whole of August.
So 3 months.
3 months.
More than
so
3 months.
93 days.
That's
They spent 39 days in school. They are back home and they will return 30th August.
They need to get
the free senior Yamano and who you know and no but remember
yeah.
Nancy or church
when is Auntie Becky also for mommy?
Yeah.
Becky Stone.
Oh yeah.
Or say me can show say for betting you will be suspended.
Oh, that be you. Me, Auntie Becky.
I said don't explain. The more you explain yourself, the more guilty you become. So please, let's do headlines. Oh dear, Vanessa. Oh yeah.
Now one can one was can so ha. One can
Dickin.
Yeah.
And says I'll be tantrum. I'll be tantrum.
Okay.
Legends everywhere. We worship you. Hallelujah. 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 Everybody lift your voices. If you love the Lord, lift your voice. Hallelujah is the highest praise. Hallelujah. Sing that one more time. Hallelujah.
Okay, Abusia, Yasamba back to Henti back on there. Sound net to quiet, but fortunately for us, no, restore on the back. No, but popular request about Abdurrahman say, Sika me the man and see Menya Masumdue. Oh, Menya Masumdue. That's the popular request. Or some of the Sika man and see Masumdue. Been so as a baby as can me fanko charity. Na after you now, me first got to charity.
I dare you to send this money for charity.
Okay.
Sound him send me what foundation. Oh,
no, my another foundation now because 1 year the far. This is the same in
the same. Grateful Hearts Foundation. Young Fanko, Dansuma.
You had better call Honum, sir. And I'm in the Bema now, they are called.
Ninya.
Oh, okay. Antibaki Michiao. No charity bizo domia bra obom.
And the enfant. Metiami me yeska. Edia come foundation.
No charity bizo domia bra obom. Ti person dey come domia bra obom charity no. And I don't say.
Ready.
Eti anono abusia am say Samoti anka mo Facebook no mo yehunu ne yanku yanim. Me according to me monitor na me dey yi ne dey aba. Eti mo anka no moti anka yanku yanim ne hwade. Na ye chia mo yama makwaba ene Monday say dem ni kan amount no. May 31 2021 ni ye ko weekend yaba ye ko soga kope yaba ye ko supe yaba ye ko tefle yaba enti eno no. Na news by headlines no na duru no. Ebra so se ye de ba na ose bobi ansa Emmanuel Dosu Brakofi eye Nanadua ni kwata Vanderpool Uncle George Dixon Livingstone and after Eugenia Peggy Abnadudu ene Ofakeke Omadaroma ena omudum sika man CM fan konkoto eye pepesi na finsu no onso no niema koso ku akratem no onso se de be ya osobenya bia tinti na onso so de ede no na Dicken bakopa
Akoto cheta
soroma akotem to no na minim se zaida de beduru enti miwia wavelength baby all this kind of fire no let's try the same wave no so we go wave go na scanner go back enyemani ya o yeah na just eno no but na si say am for the foundation no na just wa go better lose ama o say the first can go for the foundation but me foundation you o do me abra no so no pese me de koma wo mti no atiefo me first can go do me abra ana me first can no ema aye adwoa abna eti eno so ene no yanku anim ko akrata no atibi nsem no ene ba no ma me chia Dr. Pounds ene
yes we can Dr. Pounds into na yes no ko. So we start with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Culture of silence not here, President is saying. And commemoration of World No Tobacco Day, smokers urged to seek counseling. Chambers Dr. Chambers. Chambers endorses pretty tough measures against Galamsey. Mali suspended from ECOWAS. Akufo-Addo urges leaders to help restore democracy. Front page Daily Graphic newspaper.
Okupita Abba. Say, since I left you people, now you go on weekends to Sogakope and never invite me.
Please don't bring yourself this morning. No, we don't have we are numberless. You have number. Allow us.
Abusia ya the graphic shasi na no pai na Dr. Pounds ni foni e woni mu anom ye ka Dr. Pounds wa ene na Danko Akufo-Addo yesi abona baso ama doctorate degree efa free senior high school de bae na ne Pounds no be free ba ne se omampani timi etam omani sika na 15,000 pounds and no the hand playing edem na ordinam se o pacho se mfa esika nchenti no edi no ha ene free ba enya asem ketwa na o ka kirem se onam na otete se nkrofo bi se na bresui ye free bibi culture of silence se o kan nkrofo bi anu otum na omkasa bo se omka no mefudi no oman as omampani wudi utumi etete se nkrofo no fa hodi se de be ya omaka omano apado akwa se obi nya internal bleeding ananse wachichi obi se bunachi na obone yem no asanbra ne su ene ye friends me bo asanbra usu no wose maza saa ne mana manfo keka no enye no kre zanze nanado no yenim dada se ono no onibiefo no kasa de mom na wasa human rights lawyer ibinum ka se ne right rights human rights lawyer ibinum se saa na se ke frɛ no but wose wenum nyina no onyintum etimu amoka se na preso as omampani anana penso as omampani culture of silence abano yen kan kire samjona en nkofo se sa de nyade so baji atum ne agi atum echina eno so eno no na Mali mano last year ho ba bi ene todwa se ekwan a na omampani afaso a je se o tete oman no maza ekwan ototo ne manager se oman no ahoden owiase amamumun akofom asojafo baji oman no amani military leader eni di omani ma enya semketwa na ye ka Mali a wo mo ka West Africa ho a ono no ye Ghana mampani omo ay meeting e won kra hanom ahwabo ase omo suspend Mali membership ECOWAS ekosi se kamam kabi ombetimi assign e de ababiem enti te se omo ebe restore democracy no ene de Mali ye ka ECOWAS block na ye no e de na atonchen but omampani Akufo-Addo ne leaders ne so meboa ama omo atimi de democracy atimi aba back to Mali etwin enene a eno so aba enya asem ketwa me ba chow amse mono wisi no we Mrs. Mimi Dakon onu ye chief executive officer de ma FD o ka chim se sia no ye kai we word no tobacco day biba na smokers no o mo kam se mo seek for counseling was obi ho ma o twi wisi na timidi yade biba se o jai na ne ho ton no obi boom sa sekusie no kuha no pai timse nam ni tiro Pep Guardiola o wini Premier League eno okobo wi kakra eno ne place no nom na wisi kumo no nim se ke be che no abo
The Ghanaian Times newspaper
eno so no na owura Eddie Chambers eso so e wa hanom na o se wa endorse massive o se yemfa mra bia o tim se mra wi no emu emra mu o tin yemfa mbata Galamsey on se da be ya Galamsey no amanfo ko otidi Galamsey na yembe hyew na che se o sen enti eno nso so eno no yanko ye nim nwie ya mento aso yanko ye nim
obeka Chelsea asembia mekatel line no. The Ghanaian Times newspaper, Mali's political crisis, ECOWAS leaders commit to peaceful resolution at a day's extraordinary meeting in Accra. Police chase killers of Karaga, DC's driver, and 1,000 rendered homeless by tidal waves in Ketu South. Free Adiwe every year, every other year. Free SHS reversed decades of exclusion. President Akufo-Addo is saying that. That's the front page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper.
Governors of Mo, the gambling decade. Who did you do? Okay, abusa yakuyenim na obi kura bisa se na ade esi o Mali no ene Ghana difference be no o te democracy achi na o di nya ho what is it di eno so eno no na yesi Mali nam amanyosem so amane oman no eko ohamo anya asem getoa soja fo aba beji aba no last year ama ne the two political parties omureni ewo meche Mali no asem nteme ho ase enya adwuma ewo no ma enya asem getoa eno ne nam so ma eye ECOWAS fo hia nkra hanom no oma adisi akantam so mbeboa ama ne Mali asumdwe ede asumdwe nso no ebi atimi aba ho eno enten koda ukọ eye Ketu Sauta yesin subra ne bi ato ewo hono nya asem geto ama nipa be 1000 apem omunya ba bi emfa omuti entimi ento we era osem ba konso a esie ewo Karaga na Karaka DC yese ne driver abena ofitamali enoko back to Karaga kana nkrofobia kotete no aboni tu akunokwa entene police for astart enhwemu a eno so enye asem ketwa entino eye yenua ye freno eye Ziblim Isa on ye driver dema eye district chief executive officer edema Karaga East hono no misremo da Karaga no ya boni tu akunokwa a chese ni apolice for no so enhwemu a enye asem ketwa na handanko akufada bra ye man ne Dr. Pounds eye abasobodi ye no eno ka chemi se free senior high school na che ye no ebeye eye emfie bebre a atwam okro no ameboa amankrofo bebre anka omunya asa kwanya na nkombetimi akọ school aginim dia bebo man puntu no safo ni nyina no ase akawuram etini wedie free senior high school na bande abantra semu a entu ukọ eye bosomi minu a no betina fi bosomi asa obene tot sa ama obia nso atimi anyane de yanko yanim.
The Daily Dispatch newspaper, over 50% of prisoners between 18 to 25 years prison service is saying that. So between 18 to 25 years, 50% of our prisoners in Ghana, that is the age bracket.
Yeah.
15 to 25 years. Only that age bracket, that is the human resource force of any country. And ours are in prison. Quanson has written, I think, an article about June 4th explosion. Fire service personnel, this one too. Fire service personnel arrive in a taxi to douse burning house with extinguisher. It can only happen in a farm nation. Stop trivializing crusade against Galamsey, Stephen Amwa is saying. Daily Dispatch newspaper.
There's a special package awaits Nancy for this morning's strength. This is a promise I will fulfill.
Amen. Thank you. I just you.
Oba beseninska. Say wasumano. Enti ubetuanaka.
Waboskadi.
Na fulfillment there then.
Okay, ska.
Apart from ska then, ono nya magana.
Okay, ska.
Then ska no deba. Ska no deba.
Wakwa beti. Oni oni mtana.
Adi azie. Yanku enim nya hwade. We ayara ho semo a esese obia opega na mpuntuo opega na nkanko omasa story ho hia na yipa. And me manen so wanom people me de be kofie. Ibedi akire. Nya hwe kwan be fa so asade ne bisia no. Se ukọ eye Ghana ye prisons awodo a ekrum hanom no a. Ye se uhwe enipa susu a omoda honom kwada mpani mrewa hone hofo ni nyina no. Mabunu a womu a omo age wo fom efiti emfie dunwotwe ekopim emfie aduenu enum between 18 to 25 years. More than 50% omo da prison no. More than 50% MLD between 18 to 25 years. She said the youthful population no the do na go prison. Eno nya asem ketwa. So then e course no. Then ena makwa fasa ade we di aba. Eye adwuma ni ni honom. Eye ntwato so. Che se yetimi do som na yehunu yetia ama mabunu do na ofa prisons numbers na ana prison numbers na mabunu do na eda honom no. Na che se womodo so chen eye mero ankwakwarafo no nyina ene teacher fo wo mu eka class ebe he teacher fo ana info so na prison more teno so ebetimi aba na ukopie mo eastern region begro hodom ba bi ene to bia se eja eto dan bim na fire service for dimrika wo is say na nje say ambulance bi etwemo ade obi sen na taxi bi ba kukurumaja grada obi na tire brown ni chedie omkita extinguisher adan ya ye na mo frɛ ye na yaba Ye Republic. Etena Ghana fire service for a ban logistics in Yama as a Akandia or Mabua Eddie Dumadia Sankra Haya and a dansuma for Bacon dansuma home park no mother sa enawo oko outside Accra Niakano a taxi dropping ena omo ede kwa eno so nya sem don't come ko na nkom nyinso an kakufo galon ena nkom kwa kufa dia kwa na enti eno so eno no eche June 4th ebeba enti monkana monshane so Papa J June 4th 1979 sabako semi abako semu akwa Ghana tanke sie pa eno so enya sem getoa yento aso.
The Daily Guide newspaper petition hits Kosa appointment, he dismisses spurious claim. Chief fights MC over court summons, chart of silence. ECOWAS leaders in Mali for Mali crisis. And where the Agena chiefs chase VRA over failed promises. Agena. Should I say Agena?
Kojuta no say o UK nkan jo say ne o ye na mo na giant na me express me one pay about Chelsea was a one team winning ya ka ne o ye no pay no ye fa binyo ja patapa amambu na apesu bu o show no so no we fi Kojuta no e hoda e ba koyo ya chiao Daily Guide ni na guide wo hanom ECOWAS animali ho sensem e wo ha Nana Danko Akufo-Addo se culture of silence ogituma nyi na penso obi mae na afenso no eye okay abana yanko stories I have no mention dan hunu so sa yanko enim.
The Daily Post newspaper UCC's Paul Akufo-Addo is unethical, that is according to Dr. Clement Apak. Serial rapist sentenced to 1,088 years in prison. Blowing 2.8 million Ghana cedi on chartered flight to go beg for debt forgiveness, unconscionable, minority in parliament is saying. Parents of 11-month-old baby break silence on harsh treatment meted out to her before her demise. Front page, the Daily Post newspaper.
Okay,
I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Akolana.
Okay. Yeah, Simon. Abusia Daily Post ni na abeto dwa prekope se minority kachiro mampani ene na ban kwanyo mo fa so tam Ghana sika 28 billion cedis e charter plane edema onana okoyen so no na maame baako ono so mari speech na as na natinachi as obeda wona na wona ne hwewim as agobi okogeji mi ano person da ya no de ne hwewim ya da so me hwensroma ndi na no hwensroma na jeze za pepe ne committee minority say ohwe kwan aban we fa so ene e bia omde omuhu say nyansa bi anim no asan nam say yansa fa wo kanchewo nyansa bi anim say wo no ne ya wabo ka wo no wakoje besia wo no no wakobo besia no ono no te bicycle so na wa hand plane aba so on fa kanchewo de ne jeze sikana baji ya no hu say sabio wangaza no enye bokosa na oko South Africa Pretoria akwabi yesi wo nyawo sesia Allah sariki odo ebe hanam amanese na yefene Selo Abraham Mapunya ono no South Africa ni Pretoria ene wo na didi wo didi nkrofo excuse my language onya sem ketwa onyawo a yefene Dr. Mewo ena doctor so onkonko ye no kwampa so ade ase tino wa ribia kama ena face no yesi ye robbery so de owia ema makomako 56 ema nko a wa bom krono no etom hwe boni akwa we de ne akire na ne we are not in charge aba we are in charge aba the docket nko ano ka ye tractor be 6 ena jese akwa hu nsem kwagu boni a wadi yesi we de yen gazi yiku kokodam efi apem ene aduotwe enwotwe 1088 years into free mobile wona be usampa open drive ne sodia se open CPU na emum no enye obiba sebi na yase enti yenko anim abra.
Okay. Unia na ba kwa guju be si otu. Ati o ti awon ya we ni
emwa wo kwa ku ka wadwe jire no ka wadwe jire emwa no
Mr. Samotete IT, good morning to you. The Chronicle newspaper, House of Chiefs President calls for adequate legal policy framework to deal with homosexuality. This is Alam Kash's time, NPP stalwart is saying. National security at it again. Clark dispatch rider sue for assault, battery, and false imprisonment. And I will never endorse the culture of silence, President Akufo-Addo. That's the Chronicle newspaper.
Or in a professional way. No, or in a professional way. Or back can't be an only a brewer hanum. Okay, now Akufo-Addo, our Chronicle front page, Dr. Pounds, Otinakunyum, or say on the bed in Sabeshet, a year. Culture of silence as a pass and Jumadi, and your no abreso, Sanse or no wakon or pa, or mummy be wa comma some edia mom. You be so said national security, almost I come home be a question, and will be said national security for or my come home be a amani, yes, dispatch rather be yes, for assault, and I feel no, home and kind of home tea, and national security for no, or mine, or more aji, the plaintiff yabono ha ma ohwe ne sa ahono a wo matwa ne nsa no e de ababa meto no ma enye asem keto na papa bi ono nso no e wasom MPP achepa o sisi ano e alamre wa hwe peteta kire mahunu se e alamre enti wona nso e fro ba mi a ene papa bi na hye na operation break the 8 ne de em se age se ekope class prefect bi di after 2024.
The Insight newspaper, Galamsey, NPP man drops names of alleged kingpins in government. 6 communities in Upper East receive ambulances from Hanan Abdul Wahab. And Council of State Chair denies land seizure allegation as Jabin Traditional Council set record straight on Safo lands. Begro residents dazed as firefighters appeared in taxi to douse burning house with extinguisher. The Insight newspaper.
Abusia Insight ni na papa bi a friend Alex Kweku Tete. Yes, sir, president. Erima Citizen Eye Ghana. Na yese Galamsey campaigns a wamo MPP mono wabomudin na yemie bukunum ana krataa mu ne yenkonko hwade ba ko mienu miensa bi e wo honom na papa yi e ka ne nsem na ase amanfo te se kejimfo a yetwa eja ade ato excavators mu a ene Jomboru ti ya na yemhye no na boache so yemhye no Captain Koda Flagstaff House so yemhye no
Baba wait Pesi this thing that you're reading kejimfo say on no be dey so machine excavate so we are saying that Operation Halt for no they are there to arrest and make sure that those people who are involved in Galamsey face the law. And see if Ayampa and she has come to complain about it, say Ashini Galamsey near excavator. Then it means that she was doing Galamsey. So why is she walking around? Having the AE of the mic to even talk and complain that her machines have been seized and the excavator has been bent.
Also see you government too.
See which government?
Also on your Galamsey mining now, small scale mining, not on main so also main so.
See, you see, because of politics, she has the effrontery to come and tell us that OSU government.
Nti nana so ishia no court. Eti kwaku Alex Tete our president Edema Citizen Eye Ghana say kejemfu ade no mhye no abena me sambo list ne su bimtie nana BT ye ne yamhye no Jombodu ne yamhye no Captain Koda of Flagstaff ne yamhye no Chief of Staff ne yamhye no ana security couple bako kanapa enso yamhye no eti list win ana papa idi aba say open crofo a MPP mo womo etu for magudi a omo fa ekwanpa so iron forest reserves awdo omagye bombo a squad ni nie it is a chief of staff ede ne ho agi Galamsey mo a na chief of staff no onye me asori chief of staff what you say because me found akra Thursday ya film nti mani abre onye chief of staff okrum ha or chief of staff edema el presidente Dr. Pounds eti eno so eno Council of State chair nana otuo serebo otoso mienu last week story bi by say okwa santimantemu a wode ni tumi ana ni dibre no esisi nkrofo jo masase anya semketwa osremo ada ose sansen sem ni nyina no allegation intino monto emfanto babi okọ begro a Alaska crew mo a eho na ejato na bi mo a fire service formula wo mo de taxi I register na kill ede ba ya chese eno so enya semketwa Queens Park Rangers for taxi na almost so ede ba nti yesi edu ono begro for they were dazed then na ekosi as obi a waboro na wada chese omo dwiwom begro pani ana begro meche bintia okay yanku enim.
The Publisher newspaper. Angry Chiefs calls for dismissal of Chimwa Mwambeja South MC upon Checheku in another fraud deal after 7 jail term. And nominees under attack. Dirty plot against J. Mensa Kosa backfires. Pacho.
Yeah. Doctor. You know, we have a job. Dr. Convo. I gonna for dear. Okay, the new publisher ni na Martina J. Mensa Kosa. Techuman South.
No me de men. Me hu no kranka man kan Pacho.
The story ni. And Achuma Mwabieja.
When he was ordering his boys to go and shoot and kill people just because he wants position. Who said something?
In a paper never dominate cash out phone. Cash out papers for no dominate pa. Inti one also yes deputy local government and home some about the plot blah 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 and okay, enti yes uko Achuma Mwabieja South MC Mr. Mada ahemfo hono no mo atwirma so pa ahemfo no bu funu se yempam no zan se dwumadi kura o ezo obedi kura maza wani ene wasan pe re-election no tino ebe ya yempam no so nkode ba bi akwabe se fero pon chicheku Mr. Mada opon ye chiawa no pai yenko.
The Inquisitor newspaper false claim how La Mancralo shames accusers. NPP, okay, it's just about Martina Akosa, Mensa Akosa. NPP Galamseyas torment Edu Amanfo. Government must act on any Springfield unitization directives. That is the front page. Christian Council call on speaker. Okay. The Inquisitor newspaper. Cash out.
You bet me a day aba. It's in a James Akosa story. No, I was in Yana Semano. Okay. Yes, Papa Binsu, your friend. Okay. Major General Adu Amanfo, or a retired National Security Coordinator. I said the MPP Galam says in the torment in the life, and also Enyasem Ketwa. Na okay. Story Papa
The Informer newspaper cultural silence claim. Akufo-Addo replies Sam Jonah says no midnight knock at doors of actors of dissenting views. Atubiga's voice must not be ignored. That is a commentary. That's a commentary on the front page of the Informer newspaper. When was some more kind? Too much sex caused NDC's 2020 defeat. Atubiga fires.
Okay,
because
I called him. Me story no. And Okachi call no. Later, or the number of WhatsApp me say, where is the number? Okay, I see. I'm on there now at Awake TV. And I'm so okay. Good morning. It was it. He will call back after the program.
Be honest. Think outside the box. Just a Chief Justice admonishes lawyers. And breathing life into a short commission report. Azugu Zugud from National Security. That's the front page of the Informer newspaper.
Okay, Abusia. Informer ni na culture of silence asema yeka Sam Jonah de na no betu mo panikufo so de na no betu mo bia tumi say wɔn nyinaa no wɔn soro doctor Sam Jonah kan no yɛn de nim dada but wɔn sɛ Sam Jonah oni nyina so biara ɛno nsɛm ɛwɔ hanom a ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa ato bi ga ne ɛwɔ se wate ne party hwɛ na yi no number na ɔde WhatsApp me no hwade o me pɛ sɛ me de logo ne kyerɛ where is the number okay no nie National Liberation Congress motto probity, accountability, social justice. Probity, accountability, social justice.
National Liberation.
Yeah, National Liberation Congress. National Liberation Congress. And the Jata Adam Fimfi and Waban and and on the NDC colors white, green and red. And I'm mixing on now and or the Iowa saying on two when the Bokala we saw NDC about him. But I see Jata no banana or coche NDP for Nana Grundu. I say Jata number chip man and then the party in Omoko communists are in Abecomo. And also said last now near Tinia and also a C and no. It was a bra elections in a cosono. Na just a amount for almost no. Anon Agbozo Heba Ronibia na Omoteki Asoria. Omo ede ejumuni won pamuni nyasem ketwa the allegation kese pa SSA oba na obeyi ano abena yento so.
The Supreme newspaper, evil plot to shoot down deputy minister nominees backfire. Hey, ene de wa top papers ne pa Jina men kan kra.
Yanko.
Daily analyst wa ha. Adenam odi front a back page ne mami.
Oh,
we are the blues. Ha.
Just watch it. Page, you know.
148,000 Ghana cedi scandal hit Gomwa Achempim. Adongo unveils vampires at finance ministry. Hope at last. 13 missing kids to reunite with families following Atinka TV's documentary. Daily Analyst newspaper.
Okay. Offer Daily Analyst back page. Or see we are the blues. Mikel Drogba Eto. Womanina Ede Wamo de so Etimia Banya Sem Chelsea UEFA Champions League 2021 finals. Porto and Yakoye 1-0. Abrante Kai Havertz. Ya tono amani wateneka enti enoa enono na front page no enso hanum yese Atinka TV ya documentary bi aba nkwada bi no mayira enti along last no yese nkwada no ye hunu no ede eye sere aba omo awofo enso so anim aje mensa kosa Nancy Adamfo no so story ewo ha na afenso no Adongo Isaac Adongo ono so yes, ne wapa a vampires one more or my bow money or monum Ganeska, El Finance Ministry or Minano, and then one also at me a pass out from so and to ma 80 and also now could pay more a year Gomoa, a honor, sir. Yes, 184,000 Ghana cedis can that be a hate Gomoa, a champion, and no some so at me about a obrefo a year a huniako a hawk. Ankobia our toso minu Paramount Chief Gomoa champion in almost so nana nchi ne so ama ne eje so no so ye na me ko hunu chief bi na me ka chere report na betiba tema na yofo ne ba no o hine ba ko bi ka je din ze akona tons asinyina sika di pa bet se pending Agondiska. What was as it is? Eric goes to the property rate.
The final newspaper I have today is the Today newspaper. After brutal assault on City FM journalist, gang of 4 reassigned. Social media necessary evil. A lawyer is saying. Today newspaper.
Okay, today ni Papa kwasi ndum paper no. Sana mpacho bra na yese okwe ekwan ya national security for Azugu squad no fa so na Caleb Kuda ene Zoe womo dufu womo na nyasem kutwa nipa be enan a mo ho bom no nyina no se ebe yumadi ama wo mo so no adwuma bom no da bi da ya sam mo adwuma foforo a eno so enya asem kutwa enti eno so eno no na lawyer bi a efra no aye Peter Kaba, okay, former executive secretary, vice chancellor, okay, vice chancellors, Ghana, okay, say social media na abano, akwa no say abobi marefi aboano, I say yes say ofana wafa musu uja no zo a waja asrade enti marefi aboano sana social media na akwa ye but ebia ne obeti ase na say okumfo domfo social media akwa ye okumfo domfo eti ono so ede ne de aba eti begina we so na ye de aseda PC ede ma ye proud sponsors ye da mase sisi ne kaja eni aseda ye da mase nyame nhiramo na mensanchia me Chelsea supporters na ene Delali nani wato ene mo ambe contribute to the fufu today no we Chelsea supporter maza menda we ngue ni mo ase kakra bia de bia beboa campaign no ko se nya fufu ase nya drinks na yetimi celebrity enye easy 9 years Manchester last time we Champions League 2008 John Terry ko for obere and no ball penalty to twene ye and ye de ma apart from that no I don't know.
No, actually, when it comes to the Champions League, we don't do so well.
Oh, India, no,
I think when it comes to Champions, the team that has done well in England is Liverpool.
Yeah,
fantastic.
No,
they have a fantastic record.
No, on my table, no. English clubs performance in Europe. I'm saying Liverpool, Nikita.
There's not so
Liverpool get 13 trophies.
Yeah,
and at Chelsea,
Liverpool has always done well.
Chelsea club Arabic Pamo is there 7 trophies from Europe. And I'm on 6.
You have 7 trophies.
Trophies, yeah. On my
which ones are they?
Oh, meaning say your Super Cups 2. They made me a record no. Your Super Cups 2, Champions League 2.
They count those 2.
Oh, yeah. Say
that is the most useless.
No way.
Super Cup.
Na. Say European Cup.
You know. I never count one thing. I never count the Community Shield. I don't count cups where two teams they said you have won the title. You do go and play. Let's see. No, that's like an 2-4 cup sort of cup. It's a useless cup. Me, I don't waste my time on those kinds of titles. So me, I don't count them. If you win the Europa Cup and you win Champions League, you have won cups. But those ones, that's ceremonial.
It's not the overtaking more. Or English class performance. Or Europe in terms of
if they are counting Super Cups.
So Liverpool, that's
no. As for United, we don't do well in Europe. Yeah, and we haven't done very well in the league in a long time.
Okay,
you guys, the difference has been your coach. Very good.
No,
very
but
good
my first is my management, and Odisika Tomprada, Roman Abramovich, or no say adio, or no, or Pamo, no, or Pamo, Senka one Pamo Lampada, I say Arsenal. What do I say?
That's good.
Yes, Arsenal.
It's a better one. Nancy.
Yes.
Please read the press statement you put on your page 2 hours ago.
Please, I will not put it. I'll read it.
Nancy put the press statement on her page 2 hours ago. Read it. If you can't read it, why did you put it on your Facebook page?
So that you will read. So that you can go there and go and read.
Anybody is now issuing a statement. Anybody and everybody at all. People engage in illegality to issue press statements.
They said that.
Asu for Nana.
Pokiasi Union of Prostitutes. Dear Sir, stroke editor. So it's a press statement. They are sharing for the media. Decision not to service police officers for the next 5 years. With the above mentioned group, which is the Pokiasi Union of Prostitutes, have come into a concomitant position that from henceforth we shall not render any form of sexual intercourse, intimacy, or jolly ride to any police officer in Ghana for the next 5 years ahead of us. It is believed that you render equal enjoyment to those who patronize your profession and its angradism. Hence, we have come to comprehend that the police did not accord us with any preferential or segregated treatment, therefore does not need any reciprocal engagement from us. We are undertaking this position to staff police officers who are always in bed with us to learn their lessons, not to raid in on us in a Rambo style again. We are using this medium to also advise other prostitute groups to desist from offering their Tokro abojise to any police officer.
But so what you say? Tokro abojise.
Thank you. Yours faithfully signed, Fresh Girl Baby Jet, President, Pokiasi Union of Prostitutes.
Baby Jet Morgan.
Also Fresh Girl Baby, Baby Jet.
Okay.
You know, I think it was over the weekend. I heard the police raided their
joints.
Work.
So they are angry that the one of their chief patrons are the ones who are coming after them.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
that's a state that I've never heard such a statement in my life before. The English alone, you can see that one of them really went to school. One of them really went to school. Well, if you just join us, still go to Go Power Drive. There's still a lot to talk about. The president's presidential jet has not gone away. In case you haven't heard of the story, and I'm guessing you have read that statement that was issued by Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. The statement was issued just in time for the president to have addressed it when he went on the platform of the University of Cape Coast, when he was giving his honorary doctorate. Let me just read to you the statement that was issued by Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa 3 days ago. And this is what he wrote on his Facebook page. President Akufo-Addo has been a leading voice for debt forgiveness in the international arena, and back home has been imposing additional regressive taxes with a justification that the economy isn't in a good place. Sadly, he consistently fails to lead by example. In a period of austerity where his government is appealing to struggling public sector workers to lower wage increase expectations, it is an outrage and a blatant betrayal for Ghana to own a presidential aircraft in perfect condition, which was ordered by President Kufuor, used by President Mills and President Mahama, and yet President Akufo-Addo chooses to charter a top-of-the-range luxury aircraft offered by Acropolis Aviation, the Airbus ACJ320neo, owned by Acropolis Aviation, based in Farnborough, UK, and registered as GKELT, is the most luxurious and the most expensive in the Acropolis fleet. The manufacturers describe it as the most outstanding ambassador for Airbus corporate jets. It cost the Ghanaian taxpayer approximately £15,000 an hour when President Akufo-Addo rents it. The aircraft in issue is less than 2 years old and had only returned from Switzerland, where it received the highest luxurious spruce up ever known in the aviation world just before President Akufo-Addo chose that particular luxurious monster. The jets can take up to 150 people in ordinary circumstances. However, it has been configured to accommodate only 17 royal passengers. The spectacular opulent aircraft comes equipped with a lavish master bedroom, an imposing ensuite bathroom, monarchical dining facilities, and round-the-clock IT connectivity. Let me read that part again. The aircraft in issue is less than 2 years old and had only returned from Switzerland, where it received the highest luxurious spruce-up ever known in the aviation world just before President Akufo-Addo chose that particular luxurious monster. The jet can take up to 150 people in ordinary circumstances. However, it has been configured to accommodate only 17 royal passengers. The spectacularly opulent aircraft comes equipped with a lavish master bedroom, an imposing ensuite bathroom, monarchical dining facilities, and round-the-clock IT connectivity. President Akufo-Addo undoubtedly has the greatest taste any Ghanaian president has ever had. But the question is, should that insatiable appetite for his creature comforts be at the expense of the suffering masses? Let's further analyze President Akufo-Addo's latest trip to Europe. Per Flight Trader 24, the GKELT aircraft left Accra with the president to Paris on 16th of May, a 6.5-hour duration. Airlifted the president from Paris to Johannesburg for 11 hours on 23rd of May, then Johannesburg to Accra on 25th of May. Was a 5.5-hour flight. This gives us an accumulated flight travel of 23 hours. So at £15,000 an hour, it thus cost us a colossal £345,000. At current exchange, that is a staggering $432 cedis, 80 pesos. So let me say that again. I think I got the currency wrong. So at current exchange rate, the dollar amount is the pound amount is £345,000. At current exchange, that is a staggering 2,828,432 cedis, 80 pesos. So over 2.8 million spent on that. Aviation experts inform me it would have cost Ghana less than 15% of those 2.8 million Ghana cedis had President Akufo-Addo opted for Ghana's available presidential jet, which is in pristine condition. Alternatively, far more affordable travel arrangements are available which could have aligned with the president's rhetoric for sympathy from the West for African nations. The irony is that President Akufo-Addo engaged in this fantastic extravagance on his way to France to go beg President Emmanuel Macron for debt cancellation. Needless to add, that President Macron does not travel in such splendor. Let us imagine what 2.8 million could do for our country, particularly considering the mess in multiple sectors, which has led to legitimate #Fix the Country Now agitations by the youth. I have therefore filed an urgent question in Parliament to compel the Akufo-Addo administration to be accountable to the Ghanaian people on this matter and ultimately to prick their conscience to end this obscene profligacy at this time of considerable economic hardships. The African people deserve better from their leaders. Well, so that's the statement that was issued by Samuel Okudzeto-Ablaka on his Facebook page. And is what has been trending for a few days now. Now, don't forget, this is not the first time there has been talk of President Akufo-Addo's travels worldwide in luxurious aeroplanes. In a luxurious aeroplane. This is not the first time. Actually, this dates back several years. In his presidency, about 2 years after he assumed office, people started raising questions about the kind of jet he was flying in. The story was carried out. The Herald first carried the story on President Akufo-Addo's use of luxurious aircraft. It was the Herald that first carried that story. Never been denied. What they sought to do in that particular instance is to dismiss the issues that were being raised by the Herald. So it's not new. So it's not the first time. So clearly it could have happened that, well, attention was paid to it in this particular one. But the question we should be asking is, how long has this been going on? Which other travels have they embarked on using that particular aircraft, that particular range of aircraft, in particular luxury? Because they're talking about £15,000 an hour. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to spray on aircraft travel alone. Movement alone. £15,000. The movement he did between France, he said he went to South Africa, among others, from Accra to France to South Africa. When he put it all together, it's costing us 2.8 million cedis alone In an era when the president, imagine you flying in this. And if you haven't seen the pictures, go to the page of Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. Imagine you flying in that. Going to France, landing there, wearing a 3-piece suit, top of the range, with your family members following you and everybody in Ghana's name. And I'm sure the French presidency will have known of such an aircraft. They'll have a fair idea where that aircraft is coming from. They will know how that aircraft is, how it looks like. They will know the kind of luxury it carries. They will know that. They will know that. They will know all that. So imagine you land in Paris nicely. They send you a fleet of cars. You sit in them. They take you there. You go and stand before Macron. And all of a sudden, Macron is saying, wow, this African president is living large. Welcome, welcome. Sit down. He sits down. And then the man starts talking, and started complaining about not having money and saying that he should be forgiving his debts. How can you forgive the debt of someone? How can you forgive the debt of a country whose president travels in an aircraft that costs you £15,000 an hour? As Macron is sitting there, if Macron spends £1, $1, if Macron spends an extra pound on his travels, he may lose his presidency. He will be in big trouble with the French. In the UK, there are, what do you call it? There are ministers that were hounded out of office because they spend 50 pounds in some cases. Some of them because they spend 1,200 pounds or 2,000 pounds renovating their home. They lose their positions in government. That's the standard they hold themselves up to. They hold themselves up to spending within their means, spending within budget, ensuring that we do not engage in expenditure that unnecessarily burdens the taxpayer. Because there, when you pay tax, the tax is supposed to be used to make your life better. So they won't tolerate it if you wake up in the morning and then you hear that your MP has gone to spend, £2,000 of your money to go and acquire a very luxurious seat or chair to sit in, when one has been provided for him by the state. He feels that it's not good enough, or that MP has taken your money to go and renovate his house and put swimming pool in the house because it's now MP. They won't tolerate that. Then they hold themselves up to that standard. You walk up to them. You are not ashamed of yourself. £15,000 on an aircraft that looks like one that King Solomon will be traveling in. That's fit for Arabian kings. For a country like Ghana, where we are struggling, you cannot even increase the salary of workers at a time when you have imposed hardships on them. You are taxing them for everything. You cannot increase the salary by 1%. 1%, you cannot do that. Yes, you are flying around in £15,000 aircraft. £15,000 aircraft. An hour. If you see that, and what are we doing? Even if you want to fly it, if you decide you are going to beg somebody to forgive your debt, immediately you look at, oh, I am going to beg the person to forgive me my debt. At least traveling is something that will make the person say, oh, I had the amount. It is tough for you. Oh, look at how you came here. You came here by commercial flight. Oh, then the things are bad. Let me see what I can do to help you. It's not how we beg where. You think I will go and sit in some minister's office and be wearing looks? Oh, Jesus. Anyway, Martinson.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're well.
As usual, you know.
Yeah.
We're taking it one at a time.
We thank God. We thank God. Well, so pretty shortly, one of the things we'll be talking about is the president's comment on free SHS, that kind of things we are hearing about. Parents now being asked to pay money. Pay money for they call it intervention to support the funding for free SHS. That is one of the things that we are hearing about, that PTA meetings are being organized around the country. Parents being informed that they need to come on board and support the free SHS agenda. But there's also a bigger issue on education, because recently one of the things we heard was the Central Regional Chairman of the Ghana National Association of Teachers saying, well, it goes beyond even free senior high school. It's the whole state of education in Ghana that we need to pay particular attention to. I'm joined by Dr. Augustine Tewia, who is Member of Parliament for Bia West, a member of the Education Committee of Parliament. Thank you very much for your time, and a good morning to you.
Good morning.
I hope you're well, sir.
I'm well, thank you.
We thank God. We thank God. Well, this morning we are discussing issues related to education, and we called you up so that, first of all, I don't know if you have listened to the president's comments at the UCC on the issues of free SHS that are being raised recently, and if you did,
unfortunately, I missed that. Yes.
Oh, you didn't get the opportunity to listen to him?
No, I saw him in an academic gown, but I didn't get an opportunity to hear what he had to say.
Oh.
It was in a flash. Yes.
I guess basically what we are saying is that there's a whole agenda to run down the free SHS.
He said that?
Yeah, the free senior high school policy. In fact, they accused the media house of being behind an agenda to run down the free senior high school policy. But what is your own take on the state of that particular policy at this time?
Well, that's very interesting. In the first place, I'm surprised that our president will say anything like that. It sounds like President Trump of the United States, yes, who saw everything as fake news. So to say that...
It sounded like Trump?
Yes. If he's saying... I mean, I have not heard him. Mm-hmm. But if he is saying that there's an agenda, media agenda to run down the free SHS, then he's almost a Trump. It's almost a Trump style of leadership or whatever he has to say. So that's funny in itself. But the issue is the concept of the free SHS. I think anybody who will be against free SHS is not in the right frame of mind. But the challenge is, as we are saying it is free, were we ready to offer a free system to our country, or it was just a mirage? So it's a very interesting dynamic. And you see, education is unlike medicine. If you inject somebody a certain medication, you are able to judge within a few minutes. Like we have all been to the dentist. When you go and they give you an injection, it can numb your gum in a few minutes. Is that not so? But when you talk of education, it requires time for you to be able to do certain things, so that it will have impact, and the impact can be long lasting. The free SHS as a concept, we all agree there's nothing wrong in having such a thing. Were we ready? You see, in education we have three key areas. We have access, that is giving people the opportunity to participate in the educational experience. Then we have issues of quality, and we have issues of equity. So you can't have actually the issue of access and saying we are giving mass access. Anybody who wants to go, we will give you an opportunity to go. But the issue is, when you have opportunity, when you are giving everybody an opportunity to participate in the educational experiences, do you have the environment in which those students will thrive? Otherwise, the education that you said you are offering is nothing more than just a social experience, socialization that doesn't give them any preparation towards life. And so the free SHS as free as it is. The preparation towards that was hasty. It was a political decision. And as a result of that, we are seeing things that if we had planned it, a phase project, phase 1, we are providing infrastructure. Phase 2, we are giving limited number of people who need it. I've always argued the free SHS should have been a process in which it is need-based. For example, let's take even a small group of people in Parliament, the Education Committee in Parliament. Of that 23-member committee, how many of us need a free SHS for our children? To be fair, how many? 0. Everybody can afford to pay the fees that were in existence before free SHS, or whatever has been put out there now that you can volunteer to pay. So need it. Then there are other people without the free SHS, they can't go to school at all. The people that we go to them in America, in Germany, and other places to contract loans, free education is based on need-based. So they measure your income and whether you should eat free lunch at school or you should pay for your lunch. Today, ours is all mixed up. Everybody, you have free lunch, uniform, things. But do we have enough to? It's a question that a lot of the people can't answer. The textbooks are not in. Oh, it is the printer. It is this person. It is that person. So somehow, every time we are looking for an opportunity to blame somebody for what we don't have. The issue is, where are we on those things? What is the future of those things in relation to continuity of the free SHS? So the issue of free can be talked about. But when you talk about education, we are talking about access. Everybody can have access. Yes, it's open. Everybody go. But the issue is, what is the quality? Otherwise, the 3 years, the proof some students will have is what? Is a school uniform in a picture that they took. They took a picture of them being in secondary school. But there will be no evidence of their getting through secondary school and passing integrated science, math, which is their Waterloo, and English. So eventually, they come out with nothing. Therefore, what we need is a clear path in which those who need it should do it, should have the access. Those who don't need it should be able to pay. Take, for example, everybody wants to send how many children to Wesley Girls, to St. Peter's, to Legon Presec, and St. Rose's. Why are they sending kids to those schools? Because they can do well. So why don't we allow people who can pay to send their children to Infansipim and any of these A schools? Then the resources that are in Infansipim, we take them, take the same one and go to Anum, go to Sevioso, go to Yasikai, and go to Antoine Secondary School and make those Legon Presec by replicating the things that are there for them to do it. And what are the things that are there? It will surprise you. Most of those places, there are private classes that the children attend, and that is why they do well at Presec. That is why they do well at Motor School. We should have the journalists to do investigation, and you will find that those places. Yesterday, I talked to a parent. He is paying 250 Ghana cedis per subject for the child who is at one of these prestigious schools. So essentially, the poor child who has been given lunch at some dead-end school will actually finish dead-end. So free is free. But the thing is, it can't, because the people are stated secondary school, but actually, he doesn't have anything to show for it. He doesn't have anything to show for it. So, like I'm saying, it is not like an injection. As soon as you take that injection, the result is there. But consistently, how many are passing integrated science? How many are passing mathematics subjects they may have? So, the free SHS, by default, is what our country asked for in the Constitution. But it should have been phased. Phase 1, infrastructure. Phase 2, need-based. Phase 3, universal for everybody. As it stands now, it is a social service. And what is happening is just, if you are borrowing money to provide free SHS, you are basically just going to run down your country, because when you put that into the debt stock, the monies that you are taking as loans to feed the children, what are you getting in return for that? It's a question that somebody must answer. And I think that we can have a national discussion, stakeholders, and really reframe where we are today on the free SHS. It's not going to be easy.
Doc,
the political undertone of it's free for everybody, people are beginning to realize that after all, it is not free.
Doc,
and that's where that's my position. Yes.
After listening to you clearly, you have issues with the original implementation and also what the state of the free SHS is currently.
Yes.
Or how, not even the free SHS, how it has influenced secondary education, the quality of secondary education.
Yes.
Clearly. So I'm going to read to you the citation of the University of Cape Coast, and I know you know the University of Cape Coast may be perhaps the second or third most prestigious university we have in Ghana.
Well, prestige is very subjective. Yes.
Well, let me just read it to you.
Okay.
This is a citation they gave to the president in honor of the doctorate.
Okay.
You championed your vision to make the free SHS policy a reality. Though you conceived it as a campaign message, you did not forget your promise to the people, but provided the impetus and resources to initiate and implement the policy within your first year in office as president. You are guided by the Sustainable Development Goals 4, which hinges on accessible, equal, and quality education for all. Maybe perhaps I want your comment on. Says you have proven to be a firm believer of the notion that Africa must systematically invest in its use for development. With the free SHS, you have positioned the youth to grow as an educated population for the future and for the good of the country. You are saying that's not what is happening?
Well, it's a very interesting citation. Yes. But, these things can be written by anybody, and it can be read anywhere. So it is interesting. The University of Cape Coast, thank me for them. But the reality on the ground, now the parents of the children are beginning to see that it is not as easy as they thought it was, and that the cry for free is not absolutely free, and therefore they have some responsibility to pay some money, and it's not going to be straightaway free. So University of Cape Coast provides this lavish citation, but actually in practice, what do we see? Yes, in first year he said things about it. They had a free SHS secretariat, but how are they running such that today, as we sit here, we have free SHS that is functional? You see, the issue is you can have it and name it, but the challenge is it functional? Is it something that really is on the ground and running effectively? everybody participating in it actually is able to advance himself, herself. That's subject to their own. But as a university that takes assessments seriously, evidence-based assessment seriously, the citation to me is bogus. Yes, the citation to me is bogus, because if you really have the data on the ground, what is happening, what parents are paying, the extra classes they are provided in order for their children to succeed, then I hesitate to say this is what is needed. Mm-hmm.
Are you saying that a UCC citation is not based on any data?
It's so subjective. It's so subjective. I'm inclined to think. What they are saying is basically subjective and not consistent with the data. Yes, not consistent with the data.
Let me also read to you perhaps a response from the president to those the questions of quality. Now, this is a Daily Graphic report, and it says a portion of it said he said 411 of the 465 students in English-speaking West Africa who obtained 8 A's in the recent West African Senior School Certificate Examination, that's the WASSCE, were beneficiaries of free SHS in Ghana. Adding, quote, not only has access been widened, quality has also been maintained, indeed, even enhanced. So to him, the evidence of the performance of the first batch of the free senior high school beneficiaries shows that the issues of quality that has been raised are not justified.
Okay. Well, I will leave it as it is, because, like I said, you are not going to have it within one school stream, the effectiveness of the system, because in education it is progressive and year in, year out, and as a result, what we see today is not a pleasant reflection of quality that they are seeking to portray. What was the pass rate in years before the free SHS was introduced? And what is the pass rate of use? The variances, is it better now? Is it equal to what it was? Or is actually going back? Percentage of students passing English, passing mathematics to the total number of people who are participating in the free SHS. What do we say? What do we say to that?
There is the issue of, because I know as an MP, perhaps a lot of what you're talking about is what the encounters you have with parents, and also in some cases, there are some of your colleagues who have said that they have even had encounters with headmasters, teachers, people who are managing schools, who are basically complaining about the state of the schools at this time, but a lot of them will not come out and talk. A lot of them.
Yes.
In your previous, one of your previous appointments was that you were executive secretary for the National Teaching Council.
Yes.
Is there anything in place that does not allow a teacher, the manager of a school, to speak up at this time to get the attention he needs in order for them to be able to fix the state of the schools and also
to a large extent, people allege that is a challenge for them. Last week I listened to the minister on TV and he's saying it's not, and that he himself speaks, have access to teachers and headmasters have access to him, and when they call him, he answers them. If they need that, he provides it, and that he has such an open door policy to the extent that they don't even They don't even actually have to go through the protocols in which all other people do. So sometimes he, as a minister, they reach him directly, and not even the Education Service, the Director General, and the Council of Procurement, with his FPME. So he's able to deal with them directly and do things directly with them. Well, then the host asking this same question you are asking me. So we are going to take active interest in what he said, that he is able to provide a context for everybody to freely express himself and participate in the education experience. So that openness is a challenge. And the minister is that they have every opportunity to reach him, and that they are not victimizing anybody. The committee is going to look at that closely, and then request or allegations made by people that this is the truth is, yes, we are going to meet with the body, them, because they are professionals and they should not fear for that. And we will stand with them as people who are in the system and understand the need to let them air out, let them put their requests, let them put their challenges before the state, and also to acknowledge good things that the state is doing as the Ministry of Education and Education Service. So it's out there, but can it be verified that indeed it is true? Do we have cases where people have been victimized? I would like to participate in the process, and generally should be able to investigate people who have made those allegations. Were they transferred fairly, or they were transferred to Siberia, so that they are taken from Legon Presec to Nandom Secondary School with the excuse that it is because they made a comment here or there which was not in the interest of the, and as a result, a minister or a director was critical in sending them to somewhere else. I would like to see that, yes. These allegations are made, but really, is it what is going on the ground? The minister says no. So we need to have empirical evidence to really show that, yes, this is what is happening.
Honorable, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. And we'll be looking forward to how all that hearings transpire and exactly what we can get from some of the things.
I'm telling you, we are interested in putting together a task force, and I'll be speaking with you all very shortly about that, so that we will keep education active in the media and the right thing to be done with all the data that we are seeking to collect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Dr. Augustine Tawia is Member of Parliament for Bia West. Bia West, okay. And also member of the Education Committee of Parliament. Like I said, at one point in time, Executive Secretary for the National Teaching Council. An educationist in that field, and was speaking to us about some of the things we are hearing. Let me just read that story to you, portions of that story. The citation again. This is a citation that the University of Cape Coast. University of Cape Coast is one of the foremost training institutions for teachers. The UCC trains teachers. A lot of the sandwich courses you see teachers engage in, majority of them are from the University of Cape Coast. And the University of Cape Coast is the university that, if you know, if you've forgotten, Professor Jinana Opoku-Agyeman used to head as Vice Chancellor. So let me read this to you. This is the citation. You championed your vision to make the free SHS policy a reality. Though you conceived it as a campaign message, you did not forget your promise to the people, but provided the impetus and resources to initiate and implement the policy within your first year in office as president. You were guided by the Sustainable Development Goal, SDG 4, which hinges on accessible, equal, and quality education for all. You have proved to be a firm believer of the notion that Africa must systematically invest in its youth for development. With the free SHS, you have positioned the youth to grow as an educated population for the future and for the good of the country. Then I read to him the portion of the president's statement that was captured by the Daily Graphic in their report. They put it this way. He said, 411 out of the 465 students in English-speaking West Africa who obtained 8 A's in the recent West African Senior School Certificate Examination were beneficiaries of free SHS in Ghana, adding, quote, not only has access been widened, quality has also been maintained, indeed even enhanced. That is the precedent. That evidence shows that quality is cool. We are doing well, but we are doing far better than where even before free SHS was introduced. The question is, are school authorities, the Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education actively seeking the contribution of parents towards keeping the policy running? Are they doing that? Are parents now paying schools 200 cedis, 600 cedis to sustain the policy? How are you able to justify your question on your argument on contact time when a student spends 39 days in school? 39 days in school. And then goes home, sit home for over 3 months. For over 3 months, 93 days in the house after spending 39 days in school. Spends more time at home than in school. How do you justify all that? Do all that not add up for you? Does it not make sense for you? That a teenager, look at the graph in relation to teenage pregnancy recently, that you have a teenager who has more free time on their hands than they have time to do schoolwork. They have less time to engage in schoolwork, to go to school, sit down for lessons, among others. They have less time doing that. How does a parent deal with that situation if they do not have the resources to buy for them lessons, to pay for them lessons at very high cost? How do they deal with that? So the grad said, for now, we don't have a coach. Gabriel Kofitela says, good morning. Senator RKB Nancy and the crew, you are all blessed as you always keep us informed. Fantastic Wilberforce, in whose relationship it's whose responsibility to fix the country, and can human attitude be fixed? MPP keep quiet and suffer with your Galamsey president. I'm watching you live from Sekou Asawin. So yeah, Okofo is saying NBC never again in Ghana. Okay, Ibrahim Tanko says a good morning to us, Senna and the Goat family. God bless you to my brother Shri Guru. Is it Nanaksa says, I could imagine what was going on in young Macron's head when the old man came up with the squab my death idea. A good morning to Prince J. Carlos. Eric Amate says he remembered how Akufo-Addo spoke against Emmanuel Macron, and today begging him, I can see our president hasn't got principles. Cyrus Latte, the president surprises me, especially asking Macron to cancel our debts. Lengi Chawinati, ya Akufo. Okay, I think he's responding to some. There's something else. Agbesi Isaac Kojo says, Senna, this is evil. I hope Ghanaians remember an ambassador's advice Akufo-Addo about Ghana beyond corruption. When he told the President Macron that Ghana was beyond aid, Nicolas Sarkozy was jailed for fraud. So Nana-Addo can't hide behind immunity. Citizen Dumont says, Senna, if he feels proud and very clear in his own conscience, he should continue talking the way he does. Abdurrahman. Oh, Fovisena. Okay. I think that's Ga. Hosagmabia said good morning to you. Samuel Evans Ota says, actions like this from Akufo-Addo requires nothing but to support Chuni Jonas in his attacks on our leaders, since Senna will not read when we write. This man Akufo-Addo, okay. Is he okay? it's very difficult to understand this, and you have some Ghanaians support such nonsense. This man who wants to destroy the future of the generations. Okay, thank you. I will not read everything. Hashtag fix the nation now. Hashtag let's rise up against this. Okay. Abdurrahman says, where is Togbe? Now you're calling Togbe Alakpafia. Was he on board the heaven on earth flight? Alakpato hired. Francis Agra says, why does Nancy hate Chelsea with this venom? I can't believe this. No, you see, one of the biggest challenges with you Chelsea supporters is that it's not the team that people hate. You guys are just what they call it, mean, and you are difficult to deal with. I don't know how to put it, but Chelsea supporters, you people, when somebody loses one match, the extent to which you will go just to taunt the person alone. So people actually do not want you to win, so that you subject all of us to this thing that you won't sleep. We won't even discuss our president's travels now. We should discuss Chelsea. When our president is using £15,000, Chelsea is what people want. That's why a lot of people have issues with you. Fantastic Wilberforce says, it's whose responsibility to fix the country? And can human attitude be... Okay, I think I've read that. Zelda Glass says, this piece is coming from the Flagstaff House and nothing more. If they can write a speech for the Otunfo to read, to make them look good, how much more an university chancellor who can be sacked or even have his age and citizenship changed overnight? The rule of fear and intimidation at its best. Oh, okay. Actually, the vice chancellor, the university chancellor is Sam Jonah, who was actually sitting there whilst he was talking. Martinson, sell the glasses. The citation is a scam. Martinson, we're just having a conversation when we brought in the interview, but I don't know what to make of some of the things I read. The citation from UCC, the fact that he's been awarded for free SHS, among others.
You see, you and I know that you can't use honorary awards, or honorary doctorate degrees by your name.
Yeah.
No one can even mention it here. I want to call the president doctor. No. So I don't. In the first place, I don't see the fast. You see, we're talking at a particular time where a lot of money has been blown away. We are bringing in this. We are bringing this thing. I mean, why should that be a headline story? Or why should that even be in the public domain, Senna? That a president has been awarded a doctorate degree. I mean, why are we going after these cheap things? Whereby there are serious issues confronting this country. And our minds are being engaged on this frivolity. So I don't understand. However, even though I don't see it as a serious issue that we should engage in our minds, when you look at the citation, that's where the meat is. Don't forget that the current Minister for Energy, who was a Minister for Education, was also given a doctorate award. Mm-hmm. You recall?
Yeah, I think a few days earlier.
Yes. No. About this whole thing. Now, let's focus on the free SHS, since that has given way for the president to be given this honorary degree. I would have been very happy if, like we're saying in the past, before the introduction of the free SHS, if it was targeted. And it could have also been wise on the part of the authorities at the University of Cape Coast to have conferred this
award on the president. So, is it about introducing a policy and you don't even, take into consideration the challenges confronting the policy, even though these challenges were seen before the introduction of the policy? So that's something. Listen, I'll be okay. I'll the president giving whatever. But you see, University of Cape Coast is the foremost teacher training institution in the country, and here in this place we're talking about education. Okay, we're talking about education. Now, government communicators or MPP party communicators were saying, oh, they didn't justify the means. What are the results that came through? But now, if you want to push that argument or advance that argument, you not be tackling the larger issue. Okay? It's not about, I understand that, because in this part of the world we focus on certification. But moving on, how have the people been performing? Did we also avert our minds to the new contribution or commitment by parents? So we never averted our minds to that. That what were parents doing to ensure that their children get the best of education? Because listen, there are intervening factors or variables that we should be considering. Now, granted, people got 8 A's and what have you. It could have been appropriate and better for us to be engaging even these children, since the fact is that we don't care, because people went through the free SHS system. Some have gotten 80s. Then we're looking at the larger picture. That how many people are being supported by their parents for them to go through the process or the policy successfully? That's what we should be thinking about. So it's not about, you see, when you do that, then they'll say, the end justifies the means. Listen, there are people who went to school with, they only sit in class once, but when the results come, superb. Because someone naturally, they have strong retentive memory. It's a gift given to them by God, the real God, I mean. Okay, that's the active force. It's in their head. Like you can, an example could be made of Laura Chachu Chikata. Okay, these are rare species. So you can't be banking your hopes on the God-given intellect of an individual to get 8 A's. But when you go to school, hardly you see with people in the classroom. Hardly would someone get 8 A's. There are only exceptions. If you want to grow in that, they will not be focusing on the challenges confronting the policy. I was expecting you to read one of the quotations by the president. Like you see, it's like a shit's being thrown at the radio station. A radio station is can you read that for our viewers and listeners?
It was part of the speech you played earlier. That's why. But
yes.
the quote says a radio station is currently running a campaign against free SHS. During the last elections, I got clear the impression free SHS had been endorsed by all political parties, and all we needed to do was to keep improving it. Would a spirited defense of free SHS policy constitute an attack on press freedom? I wonder.
You see, that radio station, what is the president referring to? He is referring to Joy FM. And what Joy is doing is not running a campaign against free SHS. Hello? Joy FM is not running a campaign against free SHS. So now you and I know that when we sit at this table, it's about the truth. And we don't care where the truth is coming from. Even if the truth is coming from our hardest and dearest enemy, we say the truth. But we all need the good of this country. If a radio station, in any event, what's the commander of a radio station, or the press, or the media? As you know, traditionally, educate, inform, and entertain. So if parents were given the platform for them to share their views on this government policy, how would you describe that a radio station is campaigning against free SHS? That's not the issue. That's the president didn't get it right. So the question is that who informed the president about this campaign? Who told the president that Joy FM is running a campaign against free SHS? Has the president been misled again, Senna? Has the president been misled again? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. If someone who is naive say, "Oh, Radio Gold is running a campaign against free SHS," without even going into the merit of it, you agree, innit? But not Joy FM. Joy FM cannot run any campaign against this president or the government or the system. You see the mindset of our politicians. When you are bringing out the ills of society, then you are anti-government. Joy FM is noted to know, like, whether true or false, regime protector. Any, is that not this now? Yeah. Yes. So if they've been working by the Spirit for them to come to their core mandate, and they're talking about the ills of society, in this instance, they're talking about free SHS, why should it come out the Joy or a radio station? It's running a campaign. The president should have been bold, said her, because there's no radio station doing that
against that.
It's not against it. Come on.
No, I'm saying that there's no radio station doing an active campaign against.
Yes,
that's a serious thing to
yes say. To say.
I know Joy FM runs a campaign on road safety.
On road safety.
That's a campaign.
Yes.
They're actively doing it. There was a campaign against Galamsey.
Good.
Yes, that's a campaign. But for you to say that the radio station is running a campaign against SHS, that's a serious thing.
Yeah, that's a serious claim.
We know what media campaigns look like.
Yeah. So he's gotten it wrong. That's what I'm saying.
Sana, if Mr. Kufuor thinks that becoming a president, he will get the media to pamper him, they will not say anything wrong about him. Every policy he will bring, we all hail it. You have done well. Then I want to tell him this morning that he should rethink that position. Those who praise him will Rebecca. You understand? Rebecca. This thing against Joy FM he was talking about, I think I monitored it. I think it started somewhere last week, right?
Yeah, last week.
Yeah. And I monitored it. It is not a campaign against free SHS. They, I think something came up, an issue came up, and based on that, they wanted to look.
The issue was what started it was comments that were attributed to the Central Regional Chairman of
exactly
NAT.
So
all they were trying to do is to help you.
A follow up.
As a team,
and that is the job of the media. If somebody
follow-up.
makes an allegation or makes a comment, the media, your job is to follow up and look or ascertain whether what the person is saying is true or not.
Yes.
A lie.
Yeah, that's important.
So they went ahead to check. Okay, this is what the man is saying. He's a central regional chairman of the Ghana National Association of Teachers.
Yeah.
He's not just a common.
That's a powerful
floor member.
position.
Powerful position.
The biggest union in
biggest teacher union in Ghana. NAT.
No, the biggest union. There's no union with more membership
than NAT. Never. So if they're going ahead to tell you that, Massa, headmasters and district coordinators of education cut their pretense and tell the people the real situation on the ground about this free SHS and the double track system.
Yeah.
A station takes it up and said, okay, let's go beyond what this man is saying and ascertain that Asama Papa is it wrong or he's right. They started it. I think I monitored it a few times before, like in the morning, and they were talking to parents, they were talking to students, they were talking to some headmasters and teachers. Some of the headmasters couldn't identify themselves because the situation we find ourselves. You understand?
And even that one, when you say it, they will tell you that it's not true.
It's not true. They will come and deny it.
No, when we're all here, when was it the headmaster for Osu? You recall what happened to him? What did he do?
Is it Osu Salem or
no? It's Nwa Secondary.
You recall what happened to him? What did he ask? What did she ask for? What did she ask for?
Chairs.
Yeah.
Desk.
That was all.
Desk.
Help us with desk.
Yes.
We were still facing the same problem.
The situation still persists. And what
last time I was telling you about this young girl in my neighborhood I saw recently. I asked her, now so school you're supposed to be in school at this time. You say yes, see fee. Now it's final year for me. Why? I'm saying, so when are you going back?
There's no timetable.
I don't know.
They have no idea.
So if the station is helping you and telling you the problem on the ground, so that you take it as feedback and then look at how best you can improve on the thing. You go to stand on some school giving you degree program and say they are waging a war against the free SHS. Hey, Charlie, this is how those are. And to the policy about me and Kawasem, everything you say is right. Everything now become right. Sometimes some of his followers debated him on some of the things.
Yeah.
They say, oh, this one they will think. So you there, we are president in they make it right. Station beach so massa. This is the problem on the ground. So they are waging a war against your free SHS. Really?
Well,
look. Since when, ever since Honorable Abraka made this allegation about this 15,000 an hour plane thing, it's been almost 1 week. Knowing this government with Kojo Puyo in place. Kojo Puyo in place. And come on the press conference and deny that. It's been how many days now?
Yeah, long.
Even on Sundays, people they will organize a press conference to deny it. It's been how many days?
I'm surprised that
this. Look,
anyway.
Mr. Kufado, Bacho, what the policy be bad? Don't expect that everybody will just take it hook, line, and sinker. People will go behind it and find the problems in the policy and tell you that, Master, this and this and this are some of the problems. So look at it. It's not that will be against your free SHS. Nobody is against your free SHS. But the problems of the free SHS system is what we are telling you. We are not against your free SHS, Mr. Gufado. Please.
You see, even that thing about people going behind is a different matter. See, education is something that is from when you wake up in the morning, your brother's child goes to school, and then they start asking him for fees that he can't pay. He will call you.
You call you. Your brother doesn't have, you call you there. And also, you have to find some money and support your brother.
Yeah, there are several things you also do. So it's frontal. So people are telling you what they are experiencing. They are not doing investigation. They're just telling you that this is what is going on. This is what my child is telling me. This is that. You're saying, why?
Sana, what about it? This free SHS thing? From the beginning, there was no consultation with anybody. The stakeholders, the teachers, the headmasters, the people who run the school. I thought Osanke, we call all of them, put them together. Okay, this is what we want to bring. This is what we think we can do. Musumudri was saying, what can we add or how can we take out and make the whole program better? You never consulted anybody. You just dump the thing on them. Anybody who complains about it, that person will either be transferred to some place you will never like, or he will be dismissed. Rambo style. The thing has been running for about. It started in 2017, right? Almost 4 years now.
Yeah.
There are still problems with the policy, and people tell you, and you say they are raging a war against the free SHS.
No.
Sana, you went to SS full 3 years, right? You did the normal first term, second term, third term thing.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, as you sit here, can you tell me that you completed your SS1, SS2, SS3 syllabuses?
That never happened.
Henry, you went to Accra Academy. Did you ever complete your syllabus? Even after running the full first term, full second term, full third term. Now people go to school for 39 days and come home for 93 days. How are they going to complete their syllabus?
Well, if you're just joining us, we are still discussing issues in relation to some comments that were made by the president. Harry.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, me, I'm you know, I was startled, so to speak, by
Some of the things
I heard the president, you know, talk about. I read a beautiful piece by Ghana's or our senior editor, Alhaji Haruna.
Okay.
Former Ghana's ambassador to
Alhaji Haruna.
Alhaji Haruna, yeah. To I think is it Namibia and I think Namibia.
Yeah, I think two countries.
Yeah, Namibia somewhere. But, you know, he writes a lot.
Yeah.
We were talking about plagiarism.
Okay.
That the University of Cape Coast is a university for education, and you know plagiarism has got to do with education, innit?
Yeah.
So and the president who has been plagiarizing statements or speeches, and he went on to give the person. You see, that's what I'm saying. Listen, I see this whole award thing as a red herring. You know what I'm saying? I see that as a red herring because there are serious issues that should be engaging our minds. You see, it is true that at least if you cannot go to uni or university and you're able to get your secondary education, it can take you to some place. And it's good. Now, if I were to be in government or to be a spokesperson for government, what will you do? You just tell the public or the citizenry how you are addressing the challenges in the free SHS. The issue about desks, the issue about beds, the dormitory, the quality of food being served and what have you. Government should be okay. They are communicating. Yes, it's true. You see, we are a country that we hardly speak the truth. From childhood to adulthood, we hardly speak the truth. So if you are telling someone the truth and the person knows that you are telling the truth, the person will find it like you are insulting him for speaking out. Because the point is that as a political party, when you are coming to government, you have your members in parliament, and these members are the ranking members. So they are seized. Okay, they are seized with information on all the sectors of this economy. That's why I was taken aback, Senna, that the president doesn't know that a wholesale implementation of this kind of policy will have that consequence on education. Because there are no adequate infrastructure. And you know that prior to the implementation of the free SHS, you know the number of students that gain admission to the various second cycle schools. So that should tell you, or that should give an inkling that then if I want to implement this wholesale kind of policy, I should be considering about what 100 or 200% of the current what intake. Isn't it that this is how policy managers think? That once the thing wasn't free, these are the number of people averagely every year attend or gain admission to senior high schools. So granted, once I'm going to implement this wholesale thing, that should give in an idea that I'm going to quadruple or triple the intake. This is basic. This is basic. You don't need any form of education to understand this.
Yeah. Once you open up, a lot more people who
yes. So sometimes, you see, that should tell you the kind of mindset or thinking of the Ghanaian politician. That for political expediency, let him go ahead and damn the consequences. That's the mindset of this whole interaction. In any event, university dons, celebrated ones as such, like Professor Adam Mensah. Even if you don't want to listen to Professor Adam Mensah, why could you listen to Dr. Adokufuor? You recall his statement on the implementation of free SHS. He gave the warning signals or the warning signs. But ignore him. He's not someone from, if you want to be partisanship, Dr. Adokufuor, the last time, was a butcher of streets, and important you bestowed on him. Okay? So, as a Ghanaian and a patriot, so to speak, who loves his country or motherland, said, no, Terry, wait. Look at how you are being implemented this, you are implementing this policy. You gave deaf ears to rat. And now, the same thing that people talk about. People who have been running education, even apart from Dr. Adokufuor, people who have been running education. So now you recall, because of the capacity issue or infrastructure, you call the private schools who are offering SHS. You call they came out that government should they are ready to meet government. They are ready to meet government so that their infrastructure or their schools could also be used. So the question I asked but then was that is government afraid of expanding or expending? Whether expanding or expending much money on it? Because if the private schools come in, then the amount of money being injected to it will increase. Is that the reason why the government didn't listen to the private SHS institutions?
And I don't think in the case of the private schools you can treat them the way you are treating the headmasters of the public schools.
That's it.
Yeah. Tell them to shut up when
they won't.
They won't. Yeah.
Okay. Because they are Ghanaians. I now understand why there wasn't serious grade to rate. Because if you get 40, you get admission. If you get 40, I get 40, you get admission. So the point is that irrespective of the grades you get admission.
No.
Now I understand that they want to cut it. I don't know how true is that.
Yeah.
That there are certain grades when you get.
They want to tighten the requirements a bit.
Because of the money involved. So why do you spit? After spitting, then you lick your.
Yeah, painting a different image. Basically, because Isaac Kojo is saying, Sana, this is okay. Citizen Dumo. Sana, if he feels proud and very clear in his own conscience, he should continue talking the way he does. Abdurrahman, okay, I think I've read. Samuel Ivansota is saying, actions like, okay, I think I've read all of that. Fantastic Wilberforce says, is who's, okay. So the speech is coming from the Flagstaff House and nothing more. With the DJ, if they can write a speech for the Utum for to read, so make them look good, how much more an university chancellor who can be sacked or even his age and citizenship change overnight. The rule of fear and intimidation at the best. Fantastic. With the region against the Senate, is he telling us that he doesn't know or have read anything about teachers being scared to talk? This is the hypocrisy of some NDC parliamentarians that make my blood boil. What do they take us for? I think it was referring to my conversation with Dr. Tevia. Abdurrahman, say it as it is, Senna. You were also at the University of Cape Coast. Did you also have Dr. Pound's degree? I wasn't at the University of Cape Coast. Hello, Mr. says, Senna, is there any policy on free SHS at all? The policy is free SHS. Yeah. Anthony Clifford Bohmono, I think that's the best.
So he's referring to the blueprint. Any document.
Actually, when you say a policy, it automatically
should come
with a policy document.
Documents,
Your blueprint that you are working with.
You're working with.
Yeah. So when he says, "Is there any policy?" He's asking the right question.
Yeah, that's it.
And I'm saying that the policy is free SHS. They say it in their mouth.
The name is free SHS.
The plan is in their head, and so they roll it out as we are finding out that it's simply a matter of go to school, find money, and look after you. Anthony Clifford Bomono says a good morning to us. From citation you're reading, there's no doubt that the citation is from the Jubilee House. You can clearly the Jubilee House. You can clearly hear the Jubilee House English in it. You even know the Jubilee House diction. Georgina Stomach, good morning. It's been a long while. So now the citation is a propaganda and a campaign message. The president's response is just a continuation of where the citation paused. Both was written by the same person. A part was written as a citation and the other part as the president's message. That's all. KB says, beware of the education you are provided with by the government when you see your education minister's kids are schooling abroad. President's grandchildren are in private schools abroad. There's no minister's child enjoying free SHS. Alfred Kuma, if the Dumso educational system is doing better than before free SHS, then less scrap students ever going back to school. Students should just go and write exams. This president is a pathological liar. Sana, do you know the motto of UCC? Alfred Mensah and the panelists like Professor Gachi. Yes, Professor Gachi yesterday. Hey, Ghana is thoughtful. Seldon Glass says, okay, to have your own take on justice supporters, they'll come and bury both of us alive. Abdul Rahman, don't be surprised on the attitude and happenings in the country. An apprentice have more time than the schools. Akufo-Addo is an apprentice graduate. Hence, all schools are gradually turning to that direction. Alfred Kuma, this is the motto of UCC. Veritas nobis lumen. Truth, our guide. Have you seen any truth in this? Abdurrahman wants me to educate you on how university chancellor is selected or appointed. I think university chancellor is usually picked by the governing board of the university. Yeah. They are usually not so much involved in the day-to-day running. They usually hold an advisory capacity role. Yeah.
So don't forget that we're talking about education.
Yeah.
Very soon we're talking about the university bill.
No, but you see, this time around it will be much. Yeah, but
have you seen the document?
But I think that this time around, and you see, this is why I think that this particular group of NDC MPs should be very careful. Okay, should be very careful. In fact, those words they keep using in the interest of the nation, that's absolutely nonsense. Let me be very frank.
Oh yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense. That's the point. It's an insult.
Yeah, the interest of Ghana is what works for the people of Ghana. What the government brings cannot necessarily be in the interest of Ghana.
Yeah.
If not, we will all be applauding Akufo-Addo, President Akufo-Addo, for boarding a flight for £15,000. Yeah. That means that it is right, is it not? There are several things that they've done. Free SHS in this state. Free SHS.
Yes.
Good. Everybody can go to school for free.
Yeah.
No problem. But are parents not saying that is the way you are doing the thing? There are some parents who have even gone to the extent of take your free SHS and let us pay for our students.
That's the point.
They're making that point. So it is not necessarily in the interest of Ghana. No. So whatever comes before them, they should be careful the kind of things they say.
Yeah.
Me, as I sit here, Radio Good has been closed for how long? 2 years. Nobody can threaten me.
Oh, come on.
With the continuous closure of Radio Good. Forget it.
Captain Splat away.
You won't do that. Nobody can threaten me with that. These people who come and write all these things about that's why you are closed. I don't care. I sit here. I know Radio Good is closed before I sit here. That doesn't mean that I'm not qualified to work on any other platform. I could have. You when your people when you call every time they say, oh, but why you want to look for another place or something?
Yeah.
There are people who have even, I'm sure you've spoken to them and they are ready to
exactly.
come and
but you know why we're here.
Yeah. So when you see those things, they're forgetting.
It's out of ignorance that is people saying that. Yeah.
Anything that comes before this parliament henceforth, I've decided not to talk about their issue, and I will do whatever necessary to make them know when they go wrong.
Oh yeah, come on, because they are not God, and you see that's the point, and they should understand that things don't just happen for happening's sake. For the current, when you look at the current sittings in Parliament, as when it came and they were aware and they saw it, should give them an inkling as to what Ghanaians want them, how Ghanaians want them to behave. So it's not about their interests. It's about the collective good of Ghana. A lot of people have spoken about this free SHS thing. But if a whole finance minister under this current government can say he doesn't see it right, that he can afford to take a lot of people to school, to pay for a lot of people. So why should that happen? That's what I'm saying. Listen, when you are a human being, so you can make a mistake. President Kufuor showed the way. Now, don't be intransigent. If you took a decision and the decision are falling flat on the head, what you do is what? You apologize and correct your mistakes. But I don't see this kind of stiff-neckedness, the intransigence in the system. Why can't you come and say, listen, I should have listened to what the people were saying. Even when you were coming out with this, the implementation of this policy, you had the signals even from your party people. So why do you should go ahead and do that? And then look at what we're talking about. And you call this that a radio station is campaigning against. No, you've gotten it wrong. If you didn't listen to it, then your handlers or your advisors are misleading you, as you told us in the Mary deal.
Yeah.
That you're misled. So the same thing they're talking.
It looks like our president sometimes.
That's the point.
They just write speech for him. He goes to rehearse and comes and reads it to us. If you ride in a £15,000 an hour aeroplane, why would you not even know anything?
That's the point.
What is the struggle?
Don't listen. As in this day and age,
Martins and people are suffering.
Yes.
The struggle is serious.
Come down from the top to the down.
People
Get
are
closer.
struggling. If you live in £15,000, if you look at that Arabian king arrangement that you're working with, how would you care about anybody?
And you have people justifying this. You have people justifying this. I'm saying, listen, let any other political party come and do same. We'll just come to the person. That's the point. It doesn't make sense. I told you everything is about common sense. The foundation of every knowledge is about common sense. That's it. So will you be happy if you were doing this and you are dishing out your own fund to be? Can you have the power and the desire to do so?
To the UCC, you recall what he said about what comes out from our academic campuses. Yes. You recall what he said, that the academic campuses used to be the places where divergent opinions, where people disagreed.
Yeah.
Without fear or favor. Our academic campuses are now something else.
Yeah.
Because the UCC should be one of the first schools that should be raising issues about the state of education in Ghana. Because they are actively part of the training of teachers. Yes. Anyway.
And the teachers have this product that you churned out. They were speaking about the ills, or let's even take it that the teething problems with this
in the system.
Free SHS policy. And you don't want to listen. Listen. The average Ghanaian now is behaving like, there's a spell on all of us. That there's something that even when someone is being killed and you are standing by, you don't even want to talk about it. You don't even want to talk about it. I wouldn't have gone for this. Why can't University of Ghana?
Well, let me just start with the voice notes and start with our friend from Telford.
Good morning. Sanari KB Nancy, welcome. Ways on. Evebu Agboboy. Ke Agberu Afofuke ne Kovina mi. Okay. RKB says waiting. Chelsea. So they take Chelsea, they compare Liverpool. Cool. Yeah, this Man City, Manchester United, they talk. If only Manchester, they talk where I go feed the ball home. No be Chelsea. That bang, yeah, bro. Make you no bring yourself. Make you no bring yourself. If Man City, you know, you people go feed do that for their body. Go score Man City that they can't do. Okay, best of the same feather they do so. Well, snake no fit catch a cutter. Either you go see say yes, something they pass something. If we hawk we go catch in size hogger, there they can't shot for him, but we dey wait for you next season we go see. Make you no bring on the babies cry, make you no can, make you no try, make you no compare. Trophy wise, what? The whole England have no come. You never work alone. Champions.
This matter. Well, okay, Richard, thank you. He's watching us live from Ohio in Columbus, Ohio. Well, my name is Senna. Yeah, the name Sami has stuck a bit. Kujo Asase. I hope I got that right. Okay, it's always so repeating the Dr. Pounds thing. Duchess the Queen. I love your name. Duchess the Queen. Okay. Richie Samuel says, okay, I hope you can hear us now. Hack the culture of silence away. That's Kujo Asase again. Kujo says, Dr. Pounds, you will accept it. Whether you like it or not, the culture of silence is happening live in your government. And Kobna Sapon says, Manuel Valls, former prime minister in France, was sent to Spain on official business and went with his 2 daughters. He was summoned to parliament and was made to pay for the expenses on his 2 daughters. If you try that in Ghana, if President Akufo-Addo is traveling, Gabi Achredako will follow him. Sometimes his own brother will also follow him. They all go there together. They all travel on our expenses.
Good morning, Sana. Michelle no wapamfoni nyina bachodana ne mekasa for Italy. We nyina na yekechira musem. Obi wasora na eba na adwe. Ko na wakọ sra obi say me pa ocho fa meka ne chew me. Now the plane with the co. Sa plane I saw the plane to my friend in Italy. Okache say Italy president na first plane with the co baby I omum peninsula ba Daddy, you will be in that country and resign. You will not come in Italy. Asana pa madam from the catcher me. And I will back say will be in for catcher or not the plane with the co. That is super incompetent. When in oye. And the Ghana so because of trouble begotten and in a manner equadosa. What they call for one coffee was one to me Jumaya for Ketua. Me baby, omu national service, omu and national service last year. Omu Ketuana akamu 3 men yentiomuka up to now. Obia and Fiumu. And obisu ne desen the national service currently. Yentiomu 4 months ago yentiomu. Obako baby awokono ede no wan consume kurampa obako na abana na baby oye service no kurampa ukwa restaurant no kura aye normal fees wo person badi papa no aye 15 Ghana so person wo de bibi ka ho ene de bobo enti we munyina na parents na sponsor nkola no mo koye se mo serve country no na president ba fast ka we akwato achone uko mo ye journalist munko the national service secretary nambiso mo ade no mo ntia national service mo ɔmo ni bibia akɔ saa ɛmuka yɛn awofo ne na sa de sika mo no mo de fa lɔre fa akɔ sɛ Ghana ne government ada na ɛsɛ ɛbɛsa ti masam no Ghana fo de saa na ɔmo pɛ ɛna aba na saa madam ase bye.
Thank you very much, Daniel Neatly. Before I jump to Gabriel Kwashi, with the DSS, for a university that produces 90% of our teachers in secondary schools to honor someone who is glaring, destroying our education system makes Ghanaians a laughing stock to the world. It shows how we help criminals to get away with their crimes by elevating their status in a country. Denis Savoy, the board that organized and conferred a degree on that man, has been corrupted. They forget, that the pig is always a pig. That honorary degree will not clean the mess on him. Okay, Udeduji, why is the police quiet over Kenny Japan's revelation of the alleged killer of Abeswale? Ghana is a really... well, give a question.
Good morning. My name is Gabriel Kwashi Gatri, aka Babyface. My greetings to everyone. This is the Nazin. You all welcome back. We've missed you on radio. Oh, but stop the jealousy. Allow RKB to express himself, his feelings and his joy. Allow him and let him jubilate. Me, even though I don't support anything in this whole wide world, I don't have any team. Yeah, Kotoko, Hasu, Chelsea, Liverpool, whatever. I don't support any team. But allow RKB to enjoy himself. Yeah, they have suffered for far too long. Even though I love football, but I don't support any team. It is pity sometimes to hear about issues confronting this nation. He don't even have any passion to talk about, things bothering or worrying the nation. He just come in and insult us. On top of his intimidation, he's normally come out to insult us. If you say this is what is going on, he will come and tell you it's only blind people who cannot see what he is doing. You are doing all these things. I think sometimes you even ask whether this man, do you use your conscience at all? Your conscience judge you? If you die today, it will not even be a life. And you want to leave the youth to be wallowing in poverty every day. So where is our future? If you continue to be in poverty, when are we going to also be in your shoes? Me, who is paying for your rent, who is paying for even the food you eat, you are suppressing me and you still don't want me to talk about it. Me, sometimes I don't want to even talk about Africa leaders. I want to talk about Ghana. Because look at Mali. Yes, this is what they're supposed to do to their leaders, to sit up. And you are here even throwing bombs that they should talk so that they will bring democracy. What are you talking about? You in this country, do you think we are in democracy with what you are doing to the citizens of this country? Which kind of person, which kind of wicked people's Jimesa has selected for us?
Thank you. Samuel Evans says, don't forget, speaking of a language and understanding it are two different things. Akufo-Addo can speak the English language but do not understand the interpretation of the language. He doesn't know where and when to use the word campaign in a contest, and probably in criticism. All what he understands is political propaganda and nothing else. He's okay. He says it's all over thanks to the some Ghanaian media who has protected him of himself. #Fix the Nation now. #The Nation is not for. Okay, watching us live from Birmingham. Abdurrahman, beg to differ from the position of all of you, the position all of you have taken. Joy took the lead in cooking Akufo-Addo for us. They continued in rigging the just ended election. Let me attribute this quote to Mr. Martinson. Quote, if you feed the calf in the house, it will eat you when it is grown. With the hashtag close all police barracks now. Samuel Evans Otta has some more messages, but before I go there, I think I have one last voice note. Tony in Hamburg sent this one.
Nancy, welcome, baby. Okoye, ya no alkebi mechiao sina mechiao alkebi me ason enye why me pachao Martins mechiao na Eric na mishramo na media me premi Tony amanko Hamburg media me NDC for no so hwe ani ayame ya pa se NDC for penny for more tra honum no maye din ama sa akwawe edimoni atwitwi fam ese party no empanimfo amotesro maye din amuntimi enkanya mo amobi edidi party na temwa na muhwe ni din sa atubiga etimi ko platform so the whole world every abano to no mu de ye bottom 6 etina ma mu lose ye sa kwa we eda metene nka wo ye friend say court no 2012 no nam say akwa we se mu man chance because onya makrofo wotimi ka so stupid things was what standing no pay a presidential candidate and someone walk can ban and ultimate cancer from NDC form penny for motor munus and curasso ramo and as a mutinous and cocora for munam bay executive sa ama your friend say brilliant your friend a generous secretary ne your friend say communication officer obi ani age na one young boss Eric mo ene sa small boys no mo yesa na mo guye nimase enkura na pese wo mobo omuti wono mo nka hwe na sa kwasia we egu manimase miridi na mirawo Sabo and when your microphone to me can some phone na
well, let me just read a few more messages. Samuel Evansota says those vagabonds seen in our street with unfit into the definition of national security, and so we should stop referring to them as such. They are MPP vigilante boys and MPP party security and not national security. Ekufo-Addo is a disgrace to Ghana's democracy. Udedu J says it is their hypocrisy that's catching up with them. Those media organizations can't please anyone. Nia Yemo, Sesena and Co. Ghanaians have forgotten about the extra cost of empty arrival and return flight from and back to Farnborough Airport, UK. Nana Addo has no credibility in regards to the public purse. Nana Afra-Nchiri is also joining us from Iceland, the land of ice and fire. With Eduje, Nana Addo has never been misled. He is just economizing the truth. Abdul Rahman, Ekufo-Addo does not know anything like common sense. Rest your case, Mr. Martinson. All Akufo-Addo knows is common goal to steal. Raymond Asigbe is also joining us. And let me also acknowledge one last person that's on YouTube with us. That is Kobna Sapon, who sent the message a bit earlier on. So I think those are the messages I have this morning. I heard today is the birthday of is it Jane Akoli? Oh, I think that's the name. Janet Akoli, yeah.
Yeah, that's
today is her birthday. Happy birthday to you. A happy birthday to you. Wonderful to see Madam Georgina Tameklu. Wonderful to see you. Let me say good morning to Madam Eugenia Laisake, to my own Auntie Maggie, and to Peggy Abnadodu, and also to Auntie Becky. A good morning to all of you. And also a good morning to Udedu J. I saw Jose here a bit earlier on. And also to Emmanuel Dosu, who is celebrating Chelsea's win. Yes, is celebrating Chelsea's win. So good for them. Good for you. Those of you who support Chelsea. That was a good one. PSG's loss was your gain. So congratulations to you guys, and I salute all of you. Thank you very much for making time to join us today. You have something to say? What is it? Was just no. What's up? No, I like I said, Nancy. They said I should ask you some questions. So come, Nancy, please come. Eric, call in Nancy for me. She has an interview I have to conduct. You're avoiding the interview.
What?
Sit down. First of all, do you support? Are you a fan of AC/DC?
What is this?
What is on your shirt?
AC/DC.
Have you heard their music before?
No.
I don't even know their music group.
Somebody gave me the shirt. Me too.
You wore it. I've seen old ladies wear some shirts and the things that are written on the shirt. Hey, but they don't know. They just wear the shirts. Anyway, the one question, only one question. They said I should ask you, where have you been?
Where have I been? I've been around.
Why haven't they heard of your voice? Why have you not sat here anyone?
I took time off. Yes.
Keyword. Took.
I took time
took.
off. Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. It's not everything you can say, you know.
Yeah.
And so it got to that point that I had to take some time off. I know I didn't tell you guys what exactly it was, but I just needed that time.
You need that time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not everything you can tell us. That one there is true.
Yes.
And I agree. It's not everything you can tell us. So I just asked because your people will come and be yes, and now you haven't asked Nancy where he's gone to. So now she's gone to. So now I've asked Nancy.
But I appreciate all of them.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Mr. Eric Yao will call me, will send me message every morning. Patrick will do same. Jets. I mean, all of you with a DJ, Mr. Tete and everybody, they kept sending in messages. Nancy, where are you? Why are you not on the show? Come back. Oh. I mean, at a point, I think they thought I was leaving.
Yeah.
No, as for that point, when we get there, I've always said that when we get to that point, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't anything like that. I just needed the time off. I so needed it, and so I had to take that time out.
That's cool.
And it did me a lot of good. And I am back. God willing, to stay, to stay. And so I appreciate all of you for your concern. Grandma Abena could call me and be on the phone for. I think I opened up to her, and so she could call and be on with me on the phone for like.
That's what the
a longer
conversations there.
Period.
Whenever I hear Grandma not speaking, I'll pass somewhere and then I'll leave.
And so I appreciate all of you for asking. The DJ will launch the campaign. Bring back Nancy.
Yes.
Bring back our wife. I'm back.
There are two people who, when they launch that kind of campaign, you won't sleep. Recently, luckily, Habib has been a bit busy. So the campaign is Jet messages are always personal. He comes on you, sensitive to you. But Abdul Rahman and with the DJ,
yes, I saw Abdul Rahman.
They are the campaign. Yes, they are the key campaigners. They are the ones whose radio station Akufo-Addo is talking about, not Joy FM. The two of them, with the DJ and Abdul Rahman, have set up a radio station where they are campaigning against Akufo-Addo's real estate.
So I appreciate all of you, your concerns for me. I'm grateful. And I'm back. Are you okay? Have I answered your question?
No, not me. You know me, ask for me. If I wanted
I
know how to ask you a question. I won't ask you about anything in the midst of everybody. If I'm asking you, I'm not serious. I know how to ask you a question. But
I know you've asked me a couple of times.
Oh no,
you've
but I have I've asked you
and I
in
said,
the midst of people.
Yeah.
That is just to say so that Boachi and others will not say that I'm not interested. So I ask you like that because yeah. So okay. So you have heard Nancy. I've asked your question, and I hope people are satisfied. So the matter has ended.
Yes.
If people who are now waking up, wake up, listen carefully. The matter has been settled.
All ended the matter.
And now that she has come back,
things will happen.
Yes, something must happen. Mr. Nicholas Loguda says, I thought she had taken leave or resigned to Parliament. Parliament to do what? Just glad to have
okay,
that.
so I've been posting stories from Parliament. So I guess that's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, that's
some things we have to do.
Yeah, very very important. With the DJs, the president selects response to criticism blind because there's no real action taken if stupidity, like we're saying, it's supposed to have a